Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. Tonight, we don't really have we might play some games later, but the purpose of tonight's stream is not to play games. We are here tonight to talk about what Guardians look like in a post BNR meta. Now, I posted my banned and restricted reaction video yesterday, so that you guys could see and kind of get some of my thoughts on how I was feeling about things. But tonight, I want to take that a step further, and I also want to talk about where I feel like the Guardian class as a whole is moving. And I have deck lists picked out here that we're going to be taking a look at, and we're going to be breaking them down. These are decks that I've either been working on personally or decks that have had success at tournaments. And we're going to talk about how the bans affect the heroes, because I feel like Guardian as a whole is not all affected in the same way. And so I think it's important that we discuss how each hero is affected in a different way. I am a Guardian lover. You guys have known this for a long time. I really enjoy playing Guardian. So we're just gonna be all Guardian tonight. It's gonna be the entire plan for the stream. Let's see. Donnie, Martin, Orc, Psychotic, Machi, Rose, Invoke, Maracuja, Dot, Damien, Keeks, Toppet, Trent, Dave, Steve, Jay, and Mekado. What is up, guys? Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. I appreciate you guys coming by and chilling tonight. What does Tough Nut look like in the new meta? A bumbling Hulkster? Ayo. We're off to a hot start with the stream tonight. I actually have no idea. Bryce, what's going on, dude? I'm excited to see what you're cooking. Yo, do we have Allen together in the chat? Allen, what's up, dude? Another phenomenal Guardian content creator. Also partly runs the Guardian Discord, if I remember correctly. Oh, come on, Trent. That was a great joke. That was a great joke. You guys want to do Victor first? Ooh, okay. We can do Victor first. I was going to start with Jarl, but we can do Victor first if you guys want. That's cool with me. I will let you all know that I am not going to talk about Betsy. I will not talk about Betsy tonight, and I'm also not going to talk about Bravo. Now, before we get started or before we get into any of this, I have no doubt that there are some Kel McCrease out there that are Bravo stands, love Bravo, and I'm not taking away from that. But I am going to say that until somebody shows me a Bravo deck that works, I'm not convinced that Bravo is doing anything better than either of the other Guardians in the meta right now. I still continue to believe, and time has proven that I am on some serious cope when I say this, but I continue to believe that there is a Bravo build out there that works in CC with Edge of Their Seats and Active Glory, and you're on the 36 blues and you're just playing a lot of these auras and you're trying to have take a turn off, have some really big turns, kind of thing. I'm convinced there is a version of that deck that works in some capacity. I have also just not seen anything that really impresses me, to be honest. So I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at. Yes, Lyeth is on the table. There is actually a Pleiades deck that is going around, that some friends sent to me that I don't know if I am allowed to publicly share. I'm gonna level with you guys. I've told you guys from day one, I will always be honest with you guys, and that I am I will never lie to you all, but I will tell you when I cannot share things. Damien is hanging out in the chat. Damien, you are the person that, to my knowledge, has started with this deck. Do you care if I share your deck list that you have put together for Pleiades with the stream tonight so that we can talk about Pleiades? Because if not, we're gonna kind of have to skip over Pleiades tonight. But I am gonna talk about Lyeth. Yes, you coward, Betsy for life. Get out of here. Carl, good. Yo, what? Carl. Wait, what? Vic is in a good place. I agree. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, no, Damien, take your time. I don't want to put you in a bad spot, but like it's your list to my knowledge. So if you are cool with it being out there, we will talk about it. And if not, we will not. Dory meta, Dory meta, Dory meta. I mean, I think Dory meta gets worse with like Guardian being in the meta, right? Like probably just a little bit worse. We want the spice. I know you guys want the spice. I'm more concerned about like, my friend made a list. If they don't want it out there, I'm not going to share it. So anyway, before we can talk about how Guardian changes in this meta, we have to first talk about what this does to the meta. Now, if you watched World Tour Weekly that came out like an hour, 2 hours ago, then I agree with a lot of things that Majin Bey said. Like, I think Majin Bey like hit it very well. That Mario is still going to be a very good deck. That the blue and yellow or Weaver Spinneret was more about. It's more about making them use flick knives more strategically as opposed to just letting it fly. And so Mario's still going to be very good. I do think Acilio gets a bump in the meta, but the way that I am interpreting Acilio being good, and maybe this is incorrect of me. Maybe Yudo is going to watch this and he's going to cry, like he's going to laugh till he wants to cry when he sees me say this. But I think that you can expect a very quick, very early surge from Acilio. But if Acilio starts to become like the heel of the meta or a problem for a lot of people, they are going to just like these extra sideboard slots that decks now possess in some capacity are just going to start being made up of Amulet of Echoes. And if your matchup becomes bad enough, then you just start playing 3 copies of Amulet of Echoes. I do think it is very easy for a lot of people to just sideboard in 1 to 2 copies of Amulet of Echoes and make it work. I actually have a deck list that I prepared for you guys tonight off of one of the heroes we're going to talk about where I'm actually playing a 1-of copy of Amulet of Echoes because I think that is the case. Now, with that in mind, we talked about Acilio, we've talked about Mario. I do think Dio gets a better place in the meta. The like counter contingent point to Dio just probably becoming like the best aggro deck in the meta now because Syndra was knocked down. Syndra was knocked down, in my opinion, at least a half a peg, maybe a full peg here. Like she's no longer S tier, that's for sure. She's probably towards the bottom of A is what I would have to guess. But if you are playing Dio, your biggest concern has to be getting fatigued by a lot of the other decks right now. And a deck like Arachne Marionette or Guardian in a lot of capacities has good disruption tools. Arsenal disruption, hand disruption, where they can force you into a very awkward spot. So Dio does my initial impression is that Dio becomes the best like quote unquote aggro deck in the format right away. I would like to say that I have seen a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people dooming, like straight dooming about Verdance being dead. I do not think that is the case. And let me explain why. Hickett, let's go. 3 months of tier 1 support. Hickett, thank you so much for the 3 months over on Twitch. I appreciate that a whole bunch. It means a lot. Thank you. Betsy is in such a good position right now. You know what? It's not worth it. Get him out of here. I'm kidding. I do not think wait, what? God, I was reading the thing above that. I do not think that Verdance is dead. And I've seen a lot of people dooming. Now, I would like to clarify this. And if you guys know Annabelle hangs out in the chat. She plays games against us. Like Annabelle helps us all the time. Annabelle and I have been talking about this today. And I have very little Verdance experience. Like I have not played a ton of the deck. We had Edison Yu on one night to teach me how to play the deck, and we ran through some games, and I played some games off to the side. But, and so I say all of that to say that I have very little experience, but I don't know how you can take red Rootbound Carapace from an Earth Wizard, and she's just dead, right? So Dio goes up in stocks, right? Or like stonks, I guess. I always use that term wrong. So Dio gets stonks from this. And we were already, as Verdants, trying to fatigue Dio. I mean, you're jamming Fate for Scenes in that slot or some number of defense reactions, and you're still just trying to fatigue. The biggest issue that it seems like, and what I keep hearing people say, is that you're no longer able to decompose defensively, which is like very clearly obvious. But you can still just add in tools that allow you to decompose offensively. Like, Cadaverous Telling, like your first Felling of the Crown, or Felling of the Crown and Plowender may suck. But I still think that Verdance is going to be a part of the metagame. All in the chat just said she seems much worse into aggro. I do agree. That is like the first place you see that she is worse into aggro, which I don't think anybody would disagree. But I think that if you are dooming on Verdance being dead, I would tell you that the banned and restricted announcement came out 48 hours ago. Like, after Christmas, when we come back January and the first week of RTN season, Verdance is still doing nothing, you may convince me that she's, falling out of favor of the metagame and she's not that good. Until then, I am open to being wrong, but I am not convinced that she is... I am not convinced that she is dead in any capacity. So, Anders, to answer your question, Verdance was already falling out of the meta. She was the third most represented deck at calling Seattle this past weekend, 5 behind Syndra and 3 behind Mario, I'm pretty sure. So, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Pin said they're bringing more Decompose, which is true. Blue Cadaverous making it into the list? That's interesting. Could happen. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that Verdance is dead. Even though... and didn't convert for anything, her day 2 conversion percentage was 43%, dog. It was the third highest in the field. She didn't make it to top 8, but she had the third highest day 2 conversion percentage. Anders, if you're saying that if your idea of representation and conversion is not actually making it into top 8, then I think we need to have a chat, because I would argue that there are some of the best players I know in the world that top 32 events, but don't top 8 of them all the time. And there are tons of decks out there. What you're saying is that as things articulate up, she folds? I have no idea what you mean. I think the meta is moving to a slower pace. Probably. The meta probably slows down a little bit, short of Dio, I think. A run of bad gym pairings can keep you out of top 8? Sure. Anders, we could sit here and go round and round all night, and I'm not going to do that. Verdance is not dead, and I also said Slippy wasn't dead, and I had to eat those words. I'm open to being wrong, but there is a 0% chance that you have learned the deck is dead in 48 hours. If you are correct, it is by happenstance, not because you figured that out in 48 hours. And you can clip this. You can save this moment. I will stand before God and say that shit again, because I believe it with every fiber of my being. 2 days is not enough time to figure out if a deck's dead or not. Deductive reasoning is a novel concept to you. It's good. I memean, sure. Dude, all right. We can agree to disagree. And if you keep rage baiting, I'm just going to time your ass out, dude. I don't know what else to say to you. I'm sharing exactly why I think what I think, and we just disagree. That's fine. Forces Earth Heroes to play. It feels like you're rage baiting right now. I'm not gonna lie, dog. It kind of feels like you're just pushing buttons. I don't know why, but it's kind of how. No, I don't think disagreeing is rage baiting. You just said deductive reasoning is a novel concept to you. I mean, that's a pretty degrading thing to say. Like, that's pretty speaking down to someone, dude. So, like, did you see Adult Terra got spoiled? Wait, there's actually an Adult Terra? There's actually an Adult Terra? Wait, you know, like, for real? Did we actually see an Adult Terra? And Jarl, I've been running Cadaverous Tilling instead of Rootbound. I think with Earth equipment, it works better. Okay, I can see that. I've actually not seen the Adult Terra. Is this true? Dude, Adult Terra would be awesome. Everything is death. That's what Florian told us. For all the commons and rares. Oh, I just assumed that was like random art. I didn't know that that was like actually like Adult Terra. I would like for there to be an Adult Terra. Anyway, moving on. I've shared how I feel about Verdance. If you guys disagree, that's okay. It is what it is. We can agree to disagree. I do think that Syndra got knocked down like half a peg. Has kind of been like my take so far. I have been tooling around with what I think Syndra can look like in a post-ban world. Just because I think that Syndra is still a very viable deck for RTN season moving forward. Yo, Trent, let's go. 22 months. Ready to hear the Guardian takes? Trent, appreciate the 22 months, brother. I appreciate that, dog. Thank you, Trent. Appreciate that a whole bunch, man. Syndra is cooked, I think. Actually, man, I don't know. Like, Syndra feels like she'll still do okay. I don't think she's going to dominate, but like, I guess it depends on what you mean by cooked, right? Like, I think she's still going to be okay. I just think that she'll float around like towards the bottom of A, like middle of B somewhere in like how she performs at events. But as weird as this is going to sound, I think one of the real big winners from this banned and restricted announcement is Gravy Bones. I actually think Gravy Bones, even though he had Chart the High Seas taken away, I still think Gravy Bones is in a very, very good position. I really think that is still in a good, it's like in a good position. Brands being banned have bricked her way more. Also, Oath getting more inconsistent seems like she needs to pivot a bit. I agreed that it does need to pivot, Topple, 100%. Yo, Maracuja with the 5 months of Prime support. Maracuja, thank you so much. I appreciate the 5 months. Means a lot. Thank you, thank you. Felt like Syndra had trouble into the other aggro decks to me, and if more people are on them, it hurts Syndra. Had trouble into other aggro decks? Huh, interesting. I guess I mean, maybe I didn't test enough of the other aggro matchups. I was so worried about like Gravy Bones and Verdance going into Worlds, but I never really felt like she struggled into other aggro decks. Like I had a favored win percentage into the Mirror, and I had a favored win percentage into Dio going into Worlds, so I felt pretty good about it, but it's possible. As the resident Gravy player, the deck is fine. Yeah, I 100% think that Gravy Bones is going to be fine. You can just replace Chart with Give No Quarter. Gives you the ally resource, essentially, just no gold. I mean, I guess it's a quick, like the quickest fix, you could just jam them in there, right? That's fair. I was ready with a list for a lot more things taken away from Gravy. Yeah. Is Talishar down, or do I just need to clear my cache or something? If Talishar's down, I've not heard anything about it. I actually don't even have Talishar open at the moment. Let me look in the Talishar and see if there's like, oh, yeah, it appears that the server is down. Like, people are still talking about it as of a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, it does appear Hicket that it is still down. So anyway, regardless, I shared all of those thoughts to let you guys know how I feel about the ban list and moving forward, and how I feel about the meta. So with all of that in mind, we have to talk about what wins and what loses from the BNR announcement, so that we can understand how Guardians fit into that meta. I think Florian is a big loser from the meta. I think OGKO is a big winner from the meta. I also think that RKO is a big winner from the meta. we are now into a point to where one of the only decks that I would say can actively just like abuse and run over OGKO is something like Dash IO. I mean, I guess there's a world where like Katsu rises to the top, but I don't see that off the top of my head. So I think that with there not being that many aggro decks to punish KO, KO is very, very good at mid-ranging and playing that like grindy mid-rangey game, but still having these explosive blood rush turns, plus still having access to one of the best headpieces in the game in Scowling Fleshbag means that I think KO Armed and Dangerous is going to be very, very good in this meta. And I do think that KO Underhanded Cheat gets a buff here, but maybe not the buff that OG KO. KO will LL during RTN almost guaranteed. Interesting. Is RKO fatigable as the Guardian player? From the Victor side, howdy, yes. And there's one deck that feasts on KO. Okay, so somebody was telling me earlier that Valda just like absolutely rolls KO. And we're going to talk about this later. But yes. Farewell, Kano. Rest in piss. I hate Kano so much. I mean, not really. It's fine, but yeah. Damn it, Talishar. I need my fix. With the kids are distracted, the wife is busy. I'm beginning to shake. Do you plan to try Acilio with this new meta? Yes, we will be playing some Acilio on stream. It'll probably be after Christmas, so I'm going to level with you guys. I have 2 family Christmas parties this weekend, and I am gone next Tuesday through next Sunday, going to see my my mother and my father-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law for Christmas. So this and Thursday are like some of the last streams we're going to have before the beginning of the year. But when the beginning of the year happens and we get back, we're gonna hit the ground running hard. The RKO from Seattle. So I actually know the RKO from Seattle. His name's Tater, and he once rolled me on Talishar with Yellow Ravenous Rabble. If you were around for that, you probably remember that stream because we thought it was a new player, and then we got absolutely rolled by an Ira. Big shout out to Tater for doing well. As long as Verdance has Scour, I will never show up with Valda. It's just depressing. So I've been told that Valda does very well into OGKO. I've been told that Valda does pretty well, like is favored into Gravy Bones, but that like Verdance is like basically like a 0%er is what I've been told. That is what I've been told. A dream that as a Kano ascends to heaven, the devil cracks his boots and condemns into hell at instant speed. Any kind of disruption generally hits brute harder than non-brute, seem to think. No, that's fair. That makes a lot of sense. Seeing you on all the streams today? What? What, Dot? Did I miss something? Valda's pretty decent. I mean, Valda seems cool. We are going to talk about Valda. Damien, any word on Pleiades? The people are waiting. Any word? I mean, Pleiades is going to be like last on the list. So the Valda info should be taken with a grain of salt. I'm going to need that Pleiades sauce. Listen, Chef, I will only give it away. If I was told I can. I'm just waiting on Randy's opinion. Fair enough. Valda scares me. Drew is a local to Tater. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, dude, I've met Tater a couple times and he's super chill. He's super nice every time. He had me sign a Yellow Ravenous Rabble the first time I met him. That's hilarious, dude. He cracks me up, man. I am like a proximity local to Tater. I love that we're using proximity this way. The casters loving him so much made it so much more entertaining. Yeah, Fish, for sure. Like his facial expressions were great. I'm in a Discord where there's just pictures of his face like scrolling through the chat because of how funny it was. So anyway, this is my thoughts. This is kind of like where we're at. Now that we've talked about the meta and where everything sits, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about each hero and how I feel like they fit into the new meta and what we can expect moving forward. I am a proximity local to everyone in the grand scheme of the universe. I mean, I guess technically that's true. I can smell the Lyeth crash out from here. Yo, Taylor. Volda could be very real. I went 9-3 pre-Sunday at Worlds with Kano gone and Verdance and Gravy nerfed. She can do some damage. Yeah, I mean, I think Volda has a chance to be real in the next meta. I actually would not be surprised at all. Like we were talking about, all in together, Rob hanging out in the chat. I would not be surprised to see Rob coming out with a Volda video before RTN season. Would not surprise me. Man, I wasn't reading chat and thought you guys were saying potato. Oh, and got really confused. That's funny, Moserhead. That's very funny. All right. So it was requested earlier while we were doing this that we talk about Victor first. So let's talk about Victor first. I was originally going to start with Jarl, but I'm probably going to spend a pretty solid amount of time talking about Victor. I have my list pulled up that I've been working on. I know that there are other lists and people have different strategies and that, there's different things, going around with Victor, but I'm going to share with you my list that I've been playing. And we're going to talk about how the meta shifts and how I think we can adapt to make sure that we are staying up with the meta game. So this is my Victor list for anybody who does not know. Also, I saw somebody ask a few minutes ago and I read it and I never responded. I apologize. Will the deck list that I'm talking about and going over tonight be in the Discord later? Yes. After I'm finished streaming, I'm going to post all of the deck lists in my Discord. So that you can have access to them. !Discord will get you a link to that if you're not in there and you'd like these deck lists later. It will be after the stream ends though. So starting with Victor, let's talk about Victor first. First up, there is a headpiece in my Victor list that I updated today that I have not been playing. That I have not been playing as recent. I have been on Crown of Dominion as a way to have that extra gold. And I have cut that recently to play Balance of Justice. Now, first off, the new Balance of Justice art from the Antiquities packs is awesome. Just want to say that first. I think Balance of Justice gets a lot better in this new meta. I think you can expect to see OG KO as a front runner, big contender, moving into RTN season, unless there's a massive change. I think there's even a chance we see KO in the top 8 of Hong Kong this weekend. I'm very excited to watch Calling Hong Kong this weekend. But Balance of Justice only gets better with the more brutes there are in the field. I also have this sneaking suspicion that if we get into more of this mid-rangey meta where Guardians and brutes and maybe even a mid-rangey Verdance deck is kind of the plan, I could see Rhinar really becoming a bigger issue to deal with. And so if we are worried about brutes and Rhinar and KO, Balance of Justice gets a big buff into the deck, and I think it just fits super well. And this is probably the biggest headpiece addition that I would make to the Victor deck right now. So if you have not considered this for the current meta, I think we should be talking about why Balance of Justice is so good and how you can get the most balance out of it, most value out of it. Sorry, hang on. I got to write this down. I'm collecting short data, unless we didn't do. Am I on the right thing? I'm not on the right thing. Sage. Memes. Hilarious. Anyway, it's fine. So Balance of Justice is the big one that I think we're just going to stay there. As I continue moving through the rest of the deck, I haven't really changed the rest of my deck. This is my 46 card main deck. There are a lot of people who are playing 27 blues and yellow thunks, or they're playing main deck Clash of Bravados to make room for extra cards, which may not be the worst idea in the world if we see Verdant start to fall out of the meta some. But right now, I am on 30 blues. I am a firm believer that 30 blues is the place to be. I like the consistency of half my deck being blues. It means that the chances of us having a hand of what Dave refers to as jam is less likely. And when we say jam, it just means that, like, you know, we're not going to have like all reds or anything like that. Having one card to be able to swing the hammer, like just being able to pitch a blue to swing Miller's Grindstone or Titan's Fist, is definitely the best place we can be at. So I'm a big believer in 30 blues. If you are on the 27 blues and, like, you know, like the 6 to 7 yellows, and no, I was not making the 6-7 joke on purpose, like 6 or 7 yellows in your deck, then I think that that's like if it works for you, it works for you. I have not been willing to be greedy enough to test this idea yet, but I am a believer in 30 blues personally. Time to play Pleiades. I mean, we have been like kind of discussing Pleiades a little bit. We are going to talk about Pleiades later. I will say we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but the other card, like this card, has severely impressed me. I was not sold on this card being like an all-star at first. This card used to be Rouse the Ancients. I used to have Rouse the Ancients in this slot, you know, for like extra go again into like other decks that we just needed to be able to, that we needed to have go again into. It does help into Gravy Bones. Rouse the Ancients helps into like Verdance and other things. So it is very possible that Rouse the Ancients is maybe with this swap a card that we could go back to. But Right Behind You has felt so impactful. It has felt so good. It blocks so efficiently. Being able to block with like a Trounce and a Right Behind You to be able to check the top card of your deck. I cannot tell you how many times I have blocked with this card, and then it's helped me win the first card of my clash because I've put something to the bottom, or I've blocked with this card and something else not having a clash card, and then it's let me know, hey, you have a miss on the bottom of your deck. You have to not swing Miller's Grindstone this turn, or you have to put it to the bottom. So it's just kind of helped me like identify where I'm at and how I need to be feeling. But yeah, I like Right Behind You just feels good. There's definitely a debate that this could be Rouse the Ancients. Like, you could convince me to go back to Rouse the Ancients. There might even be a world where you could like cut Chokeslam or something like that, or maybe you cut Headbutt and you play Rouse the Ancients over Headbutt. But I think having that many 2 blocks kind of just goes against like the idea of the game plan, where we have as many 3 blocks as possible. We are playing to the consistency of the deck, and we just want to have as many things that clash well and block efficiently. I've been playing Rally the Coast Guard blue over Right Behind You blue for some pseudo defense reactions. That's interesting. I think it's the flavor at this point with the blue numbers. I mean, yeah. 30 blues is so 2024. Get with the times, old man. Amazing. Just watch the podcast episode with Mansant. Why were there so many cuts? Taylor did a lot of editing that episode. I just get the sense that Taylor did like a lot of like editing from that episode. This is like a poor man's Fate Foreseen, but it's a blue and can attack. So it's a Fate Foreseen, right, that allows us to still have a clash winning attack in our deck, which I think makes it better than Fate Foreseen, if I'm being honest. So that's just kind of how I feel about it, though. Moving on to the sideboard. We're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about the sideboard here. You guys know that I have moved on to this. I have been playing 2 copies of Remembrance, Imperial Warhorn. We have been playing Poison the Well. We have been doing everything under the sun to try and make sure that we have the juice to be able to win the Verdance matchup. Now, my gameplay video from this past week was actually gameplay into Verdance, and you saw me lose to a red Evergreen because they had enough life to stay ahead with 1 copy of Everbloom in life. Now, I made some mistakes, and if you go back and you watch that game, you can see very clearly that I made some misplays, and there are definitely some things to work on. But this is where my list has been recently. Into Verdance, I've been playing AB3, and I've been playing Arcanite Skullcap. And that AB3 is comprised of Nullrune Boots, Nullrune Gloves, and Arcane Lantern. There is a consideration in my sideboard to actually cut 1 copy of Imperial Warhorn. I have been thinking about cutting 1 copy of Imperial, like just cutting my 1 copy of Imperial Warhorn and playing a 3rd Poison the Well. I think we might be getting into a situation where having more blues in the deck and having all 3 copies of Poison the Well that actually allow us to stop the pot combo is just going to make us more consistently. Doesn't that card just say opt one? Fish, to answer your question, it does. Like, technically, it just says like opt one, but I think it's worded in a different way, probably for something like a design reason or something. So, like, when I say that I don't think Verdance is dead, I don't think Verdance is dead. But I don't know that Imperial Warhorn is the best way for us to be able to try and fight that deck unless, like, we know for sure they're playing potions. If they're 100% playing potions, then using Warhorn to get them off the board is very, very impactful. But I also believe that since we don't know how Verdance is going to look over the next few weeks moving into RTN season, and also past RTN season, we also have Battle Hardened Atlanta coming up early January. I believe that's like the 9th through the 11th or something. And then we also have Calling Columbus coming up in that like middle of January. So there's a couple of big events that are not just RTN season coming up, and I want to be prepared for the matchup. And so I'm thinking that getting rid of Warhorn, playing a 3rd copy of Poison the Well is probably just the way to go. And then I'm also thinking about going down to just 1 copy of Remembrance and then playing a 2nd Staunch Response. I have been playing 1 copy of Staunch Response in my Victor list because it feels like it's just randomly good into a lot of things. You can block, like, this is like a 1 card, lose 1 life on a Felling of the Crown attack. This is a 1 card, just block out like a good Guardian attack. Staunch Response needs to be increased to probably a 2 of, because we can expect to see more Guardian in the meta. We can expect to see more Brutes in the meta. We can expect the meta to like try and shift a little bit into this like mid-rangey pile, I think. And the more mid-rangey piles we have, the better Staunch Response is going to be. Plus, if we're going the late game and we're trying to use like Miller's Grindstone to grind certain decks out that maybe don't clash as well, but also still have some large attacks, Staunch Response protects us in some of those awkward places later in the game so that we can pitch stack it and set it up. So I just like, I think this Staunch Response fits really well, and that we can go back up to 2 of it. Now, it's worth noting that I didn't change my deck on purpose. I left the Victor deck here like this intentionally so that we could have it here to talk about like inside of the deck, because I've only been playing 1, and the Warhorn inclusion and things like that. Now, the other question we have to ask ourselves is, do we need to pivot our sideboard to have a better gravy plan? Where are the Jarl main players? Jay, we are going to be talking about Jarl here in just a few minutes. Hey, let's go. Kevin with the 4 months of Prime support. Kevin, thank you so much for the 4 months, brother. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Hope you made it back. I know you were stuck on the JFK tarmac last night, so hope you made it back okay, man. Also, guys, congrats to Kevin, Sir Smurfington, hanging out on in Twitch chat right now. You guys probably know him from all of his cool Prism videos that he puts out. Managed to go 9-3 at Calling Seattle playing Prism and make it into the cash. So congrats to Kevin for that. Okay, so batter to a pulp. Let's talk about this, Nicholas. Now that we're here, let's talk about this. Looking at this right now, we have to consider, do we need to not be so prepared for some matchups and try to prepare for Gravy Bones? Gravy Bones is just, it's such an intricate matchup that we have to try to work our way through. Do we want to be on batter to a pulp? Do we want to be on blow for a blow? Do we want to be on performance bonus? Like, all of these cards offer different ideas and give us different things that we can try to do. Balance of Justice also fits into the plan for Gravy Bones really well. So now that we've changed that, We're no longer playing Crown of Providence to just bail us out from one copy of Conqueror of the High Seas, but balance is very good for when we want it. 2 Midas Touch makes Gravy so much easier. 2 Midas Touch, we could be on a second copy. You could talk me into that. I was on it for a little while. Outed? Performance bonus is probably just better, right, Dot? It'll be weird to see if Gravy is possible for Guardian now. My gut feeling is it's still just lunchtime. So, Dave, I'm in the same boat. I still think that when you sit down across from a Gravy Bones as Victor, it's probably just time to like shake their hand. If you don't run them over in the first handful of turns, grab some lunch and call it an afternoon. But there is a world where we can consider it, right? If we really believe there's going to be a big tick down in Verdance, if we're not expecting to see a lot of Verdance in Atlanta or in Columbus, now, don't get me wrong, Hong Kong will tell us a lot, then we can cut some Poison the Wills. We can go down to 1 Remembrance. We can cut Imperial Warhorn. And we can end up on like 2 copies of Performance Bonus. We can play 2 copies of Batter to a Pulp. We can try to make the matchup just a little bit better now that they don't have the ability to high roll as consistently. They are still playing cards that allow them to cheat resources like Give No Quarter and things like that. But without Chart the High Seas to be as consistent for gold generation, they have a higher chance of bricking, meaning that if they take a turn off, like a smaller turn off, we could see a good Batter to a Pulp, and it could force 3 cards out of hand. We're just kind of like having to toy with the idea. So Performance Bonus does have restricted go again. You are correct. And the restricted go again is what concerns me about that. But I still think that it's probably better, right? Verdance's Gravy matchup is worse, so it depends on Gravy meta presence. I agree. I think you can add 2 performance bonus for Gravy. I would not take more than you already got for Gravy. I mean, if we were to play something like 2 copies of... Like, if we were to play, like, 2 copies of performance bonus in the sideboard, then that's also good into Kasai. So we're getting points into another already close matchup. We could cut a Remembrance and cut an Imperial Warhorn. And we could play... We could cut a Remembrance and play a performance bonus, cut Warhorn and play a second Staunch Response. I don't know. These are all things to consider and kind of like test and kind of like work through a little bit. But one of the biggest things that I want to talk about with this deck, and it's one of the things that I don't like, is that we have cut Zealous Belting from the deck as of recent. I am a big Zealous Belting believer. I love Zealous Belting. I always have. The card is just good. I like the go again. It kills things. Like, I don't know. If we were to add Zealous Belting back to the deck, what does that do for the deck? And how does it help us? Zealous Belting is a good Gravy Bones card. It does help us in a Gravy Bones. Zealous Belting has play into other matchups where we are looking to try to be the aggressor, like Verdance. We could go back to maybe not playing Skullcap and Lantern and just playing AB2 with like gloves and boots, and, you know, go back to playing Zealous Belting in some capacity so that we have go again pieces into the Verdance matchup if we need it. Could be something to consider. I don't think it's correct currently at the time. Again, Hong Kong still being as open as it is going to tell us more, but it doesn't feel like it's the right place to be right now. Like, I don't really like Zealous Belting into like the brutes. Scowling Fleshbag immediately makes Zealous Belting worse, is my thoughts. And if we are going to play Zealous Belting, then we're probably going to look at cutting one of our blues and playing Rouse the Ancients in one of these slots, because Rouse the Ancients and Zealous Belting could like be enough go again to help us pressure into certain matchups to try to keep them like off of things. But if we're going to do that, we should also go back to playing Pummels in some capacity. So it's like an entire shift of the deck, right? Like, we have to change the entire deck and like pivot things around a little bit here. Gotta eat the Scowling out at some point. Sure. Like, so Steve, like my biggest like counterpoint to that is that I feel like eating out the like getting the Scowling flesh bag out, I want them to be forced to do it. Like that's how I think about that. I want my opponent to feel forced to give me Scowling flesh bag as a block, not for tons of value. I am a big fan of baiting like a pummel in my hand, like with Tunic Up or something like that, and making them think I have it and not really having it. But rarely do those situations come up. I don't know, like playing going in to like force them into blocking with Scowling Flesh Bag has always felt worse than better for me because I'm taking damage to force them to use an equipment, please. I'm on 2 Zealous and 3 Batter at the moment, okay? The question is Zealous better than E-Strike? In my opinion, the answer is no. Oh, no. Like, if that's our question, then it's definitely just playing E-Strike in the deck. I 100% think so. I say make a second copy of the deck with Zealous, Rouse, and Pummel package and test them both. I don't hate that idea. We would have to figure out, like, what we wanted to cut. But that would be adding 6 cards. So we would probably cut, like, Poisons, Remembrance, Imperial Warhorn, and Staunch as, like, our 6 cards we would cut. And we would just play 3 Pummels, and we would play 3 Zealous Beltings. And then, like, into certain matchups, we would just try to run them over. Like, Gravy Bones would be a good example. We'd probably just try to get aggressive against them. We'd probably also cut Titan's Fist and play, like, a Nothos into, like, certain matchups because we're now playing Go Again, so we're now getting more aggressive with things. Anyway, I'm going to be testing Victor quite a bit because Victor is the deck that I am right now leaning towards the most for RTN season, Battle Hardened Atlanta, Calling Columbus. Like right now, Victor is the upfront driving factor that I am looking to play Victor. Oh, Rouse would get added into the deck. Top it would get added into the deck over like one of our blues. Like we'd probably cut right behind you for it or something like that, or maybe we cut Headbutt. We would cut one of our main deck blues and play Rouse as one of our main deck 30 blues that we're playing. I feel like your current deck just struggles into KO. Like it's always going to be an uphill battle, but I feel like your current sideboard. Oh, it does not. 110%. It does not help you much. Like you do not get a ton of value into the KO matchup. Michael asks, do you need Clash of Bravado? Okay, so Clash of Bravado is also one of the cards that I feel like we might be able to cut. If Syndra sees a big drop in like, it seems like a big downtick, if Verdant, Syndra, and Florian all see a big downtick. Now, Dave made the comment earlier that he thinks Florian is one of the biggest winners from all of this. My natural, like my gut check reaction is to disagree. I just don't think Florian is a big winner from this. Like, I think Rootbound hurts Florian more than it hurts Verdant. But if Clash of Bravado no longer becomes this like great sideboard piece that we're bringing in to clash with, then we can 110% think about cutting Clash of Bravado. I like that it's a 7 that wins clashes. It also has a defensive effect. Excuse me. But I do think there is a world where we could see Clash of Bravado coming out of the deck, which could allow us to maybe have a hybrid build where we are on like main deck Rouse the Ancients. We're on Zealous Belting and Pummels in the sideboard. And maybe we're still on a couple copies of Poison the Well for the Verdance matchup with all of our AB pieces. I'm not sure exactly, but there's a world where we could see something like that. Yo, pal, what's up? Syndra is most likely going to pivot to a Mark package, Filthy Maker to keep them on Oath combo, so Clash of Bravado is basically a mini Scour. That makes sense. Florians were running 6 Rootbound by the numbers. They were hurt more than Verdants. Yep, I agree, Andrew. They were. What it means is Florians get more aggressive, which is good, but they lose harder to pretty much all the heroes. They get better with the current nerfs, Dio, Slippy, and Huntsman. Okay, that makes sense. So, as for now, I'm not going to make any drastic changes to the Victor deck. I'm going to wait for this weekend and see what things look like, and we're going to kind of continue to assess and move forward. Yo, John, what's up, dude? How are you, brother? So this is where we're at. This is what we are like currently thinking, and this I'm going to move forward. My unbiased opinion is you should take Clash of Bravado out of the deck and forget it exists. Are you saying that, Nicholas, because you think that the new meta is going to shift that way? Because Clash of Bravado before bans on Sunday was probably one of the best sideboard cards we could bring in. Card's insane. What do I think about Prism? I mean, if KO transitions into a better place and Rhinar is like a dark horse deck, then Prism's probably not looking great, but I think Prisms will always just be out there playing. Don't put my Pleiades auras into the graveyard. Okay, I see where Nicholas is coming from now. I think Florian's power is all about where the meta lands. He's good into the mid-range decks, RKO, Kasai, but will have a harder time into Dio, but I think that's the same for Verdance too. I mean, yeah. No, I agree with that, Dave. That it is the best main board card we've gotten in a long time. I blew out so many decks with that card. I mean, yeah, Clash of Bravado is very good. Played RKO into Victor today. It was bad for Victor. How have you found that matchup? I've only played the RKO matchup twice as Victor, and I've won both of the games. But if I'm being entirely honest, I think that was more of like a skill check for my opponent they didn't pass. And I understood how to play the long game better than they did. And like, even though they got early advantage and they like did some really good things early, I was patient, I waited, and clashes lined up, and we were able to get back into the game. RKO into Victor feels so free for Victor. I mean, I've won both of the games I've played, but stop talking about Rhinar. All my sauce is spilling. Oh, sorry, Trent. Sorry, dog. We'll actually make it out to an armory on Friday. Yo, John, let's go, dude. Yes, let the RKO and Victor chirping commence. I love it. Have you tested Victor into Huntsman? I've played one Huntsman and I won. I've played one Huntsman. I remembranced back. I played one Remembrance in that matchup, and I remembranced back all 3 gold main estates, and I played all 6 copies of gold main estate and won the game. Yeah, I mean, when you put like 6 might tokens on a Peck Perfect, when your Huntsman opponent is at 20, they have to block. It's just kind of the way it was going. Yeah, so I mean, like they had some good plays, but yeah, like the gold main estates were just insane for me. I got to cast like all 6 copies of it and won the game. How many baby goats do you think we need to sacrifice to get Bravo, Flattering Shulman, Adult Hero, and Pin? Man, Isaac, I would love to see that, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, probably a lot of sacrificial things that have to go on there, I would say. A lot of things that have to go on there, I would say. Okay, let's talk about our next hero. So before we transition over, we are going to talk about Jarl next, because Jarl is the hero that I want to talk about. Or, yeah, like Jarl is like the other Guardian I've been playing a lot of, leading up to Worlds. There are 2 versions of Jarl floating around right now. I prefer one of them strictly more to the other, which you all won't like, unless you like Fatigue, and then, you're into that kind of thing. But the first version of Jarl that we're going to talk about is like the all ice, like super aggressive list that top 8'd Philly, the Battle Hardened Philly. I have that list pulled up, and then I'm going to show you my Fatigue list that I've been working with and some of the things that I've been doing there. So these are the 2 like Jarl lists that I think have a relevant potential chance to have a meta impact. And I'm going to talk about why I think each one fits in here or there, and how they just kind of slide into the meta. So first up, we're going to talk about the more aggressive Ice Jarl. So this is the exact 80 that came from the Battle Hardened in Philly. The first thing that stands out to me is that they were playing Summit. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, Summit's fine, but I think Summit is like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think Summit's trolling. Like, I genuinely just think that Summit's trolling. You need 2 cards to use it. I don't know how that can possibly be a good thing for you as a player. Keeping 2 cards to like send Summit is I don't know. The list is cool. I will say that. You won your Pro Quest with Summit? Yo, let's go, Olin. That's awesome. I'm speaking heresy. Like, I understand it's a 2-card 6, and it's 2-card 6, none out of your deck, and it's a Frostbite. I just feel like this weapon wants to be Winner's Well, and it just can't. And like, I've played Summit. I have played Jarl lists that have summoned it before, and I get it. I understand the value. I figure out where it's coming from. Like, I understand why people like it. I just don't think this is it. I think there are better things we can be doing than this, to be honest. Like, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that Summit is the truth. Like, I don't know. Maybe, you guys win calling Columbus playing it, and at that point, you could message me and tell me how wrong I was. And that's okay. Like, I'm open to being wrong. This is kind of like, when I talk about Summit, I'm going to say the same thing that I said about Verdance earlier. I don't think Verdance is dead. There were some very spirited people in the chat who obviously thought differently, and that's okay. But I have not played a ton of Summit. I have played Summit before. Like, I've probably played like, excuse me. Excuse me. I've probably played like 15 to 20 games total on Summit, and it just never felt great to me. Sorry, guys. I got like, I don't know, something going on here. But it's just never felt insane to me. The one thing that really stands out to me about playing a Summit deck is that you get to play Stalagmite. I do think that there's a very, very good possibility for Stalagmite to be good. Hayden Jensen, I believe was his name. Ended up finishing top 32. I saw him talk about it on Twitter. Finished top 32 playing Jarl at Calling Seattle this weekend. And he had a turn against an Arachne Marionette player where he used Stalagmite to save the damage and fall down to 1. It was a masterclass use of Stalagmite. If you have not seen what I'm talking about and you are playing Stalagmite in your Jarl deck, you should go back and watch it. I believe it is round 8. Hayden, one of the best blocks I have ever seen with a Stalagmite. And don't get me wrong, in my head, I was saying block with Stalagmite here. Because if it is T-Tox, you are saving yourself so much damage. Hayden made the block. The opponent was forced to use Tunic instead of attacking and being able to follow up, use Flick Knives on Kiss of Death. It was an absolutely beautiful block. Yeah, first match of day 2 of Calling Seattle. So round 8. Yeah, you guys should check that out. Oh, Michael redeems a Hydrate. Here we go. As we continue to look at the deck list here. Let's see. Let's scroll down so that we can see it all here. We do have 3 Winter's Grasps. I mean, I'm not personally playing Winter's Grasps in my version of Jarl, but my version of Jarl is like hardcore fatigue. Channel Lake Frigid into Summit. You play enough ice, you can keep it around. I mean, sure. And if Cinder continues to be a massive part of the meta, like, it is a very good play. I'm telling, like, this is going to be the second time this stream where I'm just going to have to agree to disagree with you guys that I just don't think Summit's that good. Okay. Boulder Drop, Command and Conquer, Mangle, Oakenold, all of these are cards that we are used to seeing in Jarl. Icy Encounter, however, is not, though. I am not used to seeing this card in the Jarl deck. In fact, I'm pretty sure this comes from, like, I know this was in, like, a set, but you can also get this in the Jarl Armory deck. And I was very surprised to see this. Now, it works well with Tunic and Pummel because you're able to, like, treat this like a Command and Conquer, give them a Frostbite, and make them discard a card. And against an aggro deck, this is going to be absolutely amazing. Like, this card fits so well. I'm pretty sure that somebody told me the results of this person who made top 8 at Battle Hardened Philly, and I think they played like 3 Dios and like 4 Syndras or something like that in 8 rounds or something like that. What's Hayden's at? On Twitter, I'm not sure. I followed him earlier on Twitter. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's hanging out tonight, but he is on Twitter. Man, what was it? I can see his face. I can see his picture on his Twitter account. I just can't remember the ad. I'm sorry. I'll have to go back and look later. Yo, Mello, what's up, dude? He said liked Icy better than Frostbang because Tim was a better breakpoint than 9. Okay. Nah, don't worry. We're talking about Lyeth, Mello. Lyeth is last on our list of heroes, but we are going to be talking about Lyeth. Don't worry. A lot of the rest of the deck, I feel like, looks pretty standard. Like, you're on Mangles. You're on full 3 Mangles, which is not something I'm used to. Not in a while, anyway. I'm playing, like, 1 in my list, I think. Unforgetting, Unforgiving. Just having an extra 4 block into aggro decks that lets you tutor up a good piece to be able to get a, to be able to get, like, an equipment piece off the board is huge. Main deck Shelter from the Storm also makes a lot of sense. Just solid defense reactions, and into a Cinder meta, Shelter from the Storm has just been the actual, like, best defense reaction you could be playing. Did you miss the Betsy review? No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not going to talk about Betsy because I don't feel like Betsy actually matters. The one thing that I will say surprises me a little bit here is that there's not a third Imposing Visage. And it's very clear looking at the list that, like, the third Imposing Visage was, like, cut for a one of Rouse the Ancients, which is kind of spicy. Like, like, this is, like, actually, like, Rouse the Ancients is a pretty sweet pitch stack card that you can set up here that I think is pretty good. But I don't know. Like, the third Imposing Visage just feels better to get Crumble into play as soon as possible. Would be, like, my, like, guess on that, is that we would just rather be doing that. I hear Fatigue Betsy is gas. I bet you do, Dave. I bet you do. So yeah, this like aggro-y version of the deck is really interesting and has some cool tools, but let's take a look at the sideboard before we talk about the rest of it here. The sideboard's actually pretty straightforward when you look at it. We're on AB4 with Heart of Ice. I don't really think Heart of Ice is necessary moving forward. Without Kano being in the format, I don't really know what we would want Heart of Ice for. Verdance, like, into like Guardians is looking to like combo you or like, like kill you with Evergreen Loop. So I don't think Heart of Ice is going to like really make that like much sense. I don't know. Icequake and Zealous Belting. Icequake for extra pressure into aggro decks when you need it, I guess. And then Zealous Belting just could play into like Gravy and like other things here and there. Sledge and Titan's Fist also in the sideboard. So 3 hammers here. Very interesting. Heart of Ice for D-Reacts? I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I feel like third Imposing is a bit of a waste because late game it becomes just a blue block 3 and not useful. 2 is fine. I don't know that I entirely agree with you on that. Like, I hear what you're saying, that like the third one is significantly worse than the other ones. But the third Imposing Visage is so good because it allows you to get that Crumble to Eternity out more consistently on turn 0, I think is like just kind of insane, right? Like the extra value, the percentage points of you get of being able to search something up on turn 0 could just be insane. And I don't really know that like a one of Rouse is that worth it, but it could be a good pitch stack. Also, your code just informed me that just said in the chat there that this is his updated list post Battle Harden, which is interesting. I did not know that. What is the ratio to actually make Rouse live in this deck? Oh, like, I mean, there's not, I mean, I think the one of Rouse that you're playing needs to be pitch stacked. The odds of you drawing this first cycle are very slim. Now, there are, like, you know, like, there are a lot of 6s and 7s in the deck, and then there's some solid 8s that, like, make it work together. But I think that the Rouse is a pitch stack card. The guy on top of the Zealous Belting guy, is the rider small or is the righty big? I'm assuming the righty is big, Dave. I mean, Zealous Belting, how many blues do you have that make that work? 3, 6, 9, 12. You have 12 blues that make Zealous Belting work? Yeah, I mean, Zealous Belting does scare me a little bit, talking about this card in the sideboard, because, like, how do you make it work that consistently to make sure it's always working for you, right? With only 12 options at blue to give it go again, it does feel like a very scary proposition to actually have Zealous Belting in your deck. So, I don't know. The aggro, like, you know, more aggressive punishing Ice Jarl could have a lot of impact on the CC meta if we move towards more of like an aggro meta. So, like, let's say that Syndra and Dio, what's another aggro deck? I don't even know what other aggro decks are. I'm not going to say Acilio because Acilio is like a tempo deck with a combo in it, I think, more than anything. Yeah, I don't like let's use Syndra and let's use Dash.io as the examples. Let's use those as the examples that we're going to talk about here. If you are playing Syndra, and let's say that you decide to KO is actually a great example of what we're talking about here, Michael. Thank you. So if we talk about those three decks, Dio, Syndra, and KO Armed and Dangerous, we're going to talk about those three heroes here. Well, Icy Encounter, Command and Conquer, Boulder Drop, 4 blocks, and Pummel. Like, all of these cards are phenomenal against aggro decks. Like, Dio has a chance of having extra resources laying around that they don't need on the turn because they run more blues than most. So Icy Encounter, or even a card like Channel Lake Frigid may not have the most impact on something. And I feel like the same thing goes for KO. KO is probably happy to just block with a couple of cards and then, like, not let the Icy Encounter matter and throw 8 at you. Boulder Drop can be easily blocked by, like, a couple pieces of equipment from KO or from Dio. This deck feels like it bullies the most is going to be Syndra. I think it bullies Syndra the most, and then behind that would be Dio. Now, after that, I'm not really sure what this, like, Ice aggro version is really looking to, like, pick on or to, like, try and put down in a hard way. I don't know. Like, the aggro version of Jarl with, like, Winter Spites and trying to get Channel into play, like, it feels like if you're going to play this, then, like, you might actually be in an okay spot to, like, try and pick on, like, Slippy or Mario, because even those decks don't play a ton of blues. They're on a lighter blue count. At least I know Slippy is. I think Mario is also on a lighter blue count. But if they're on this, like, smaller blue count, then you can kind of pick on them a little bit. Now, I would say that Assassins are such a, like, mid-rangey style deck that they can just block effectively. Now, few decks are blocking Oakenold, so that may not matter. But it just doesn't feel like to me there's too many decks that you are just absolutely looking to bully with the, like, all-in Icy Encounter, Pummel, Command and Conquer, like, doing all of that stuff. Oh, Talashar's back up? Nice. They're playing Red Rhine aggro slop at the moment. That's fair. Ice Earth build, hybrid mid-range like Hayden played it in Seattle feels like the best to me. I would agree with you, Wilhelm, but that mid-rangey version with Red Rubon Carapace is going to be in a tough place because your first decompose is going to have to come from a Cadaverous Tilling, a Felling, a Plow Under. You're not going to have that Red Rubon Carapace value to be able to get value out of decomposing defensively anymore. So I'm worried that that mid-rangey version of Jarl took a big hit. He pulled 2 Rouses and turned them into Imposing Visage. Yeah, it appears that way. Got a job of Becca Luck with the stream tonight. Hopefully can hop back in later. Mello, thanks for coming by. Hope you have a good night if you can't come back. I don't know. This like icy, aggro-y Jarl just like, I don't know, just does not feel like the play to me. And maybe this is because I am so biased and pushed towards the Fatigue Jarl deck that I really like to play that I just don't see this being good enough. Now, there is one card in the sideboard that I actually really like in his deck, and that's Blizzard. I think that Blizzard should probably be explored more in the Fatigue Jarl deck. I think it is a great arsenal that's not a defense reaction. Against like Syndra, against Dio, who doesn't have a lot of cards in hand or resources, you are putting them into a very tricky spot. And I think if you're going to play Blizzard in your Jarl deck, you're probably only on 1 or 2. I don't think 3 is correct, and you'll notice that there's 2 in the sideboard here, which makes a lot of sense. So I don't think that being on 3 is correct, but I think that being on 1 or 2 like is pretty solid. And if I do continue to look at Fatigue Jarl moving into RTN season, I'll probably look at 1 or 2 Blizzards to see how it feels. Because I think it has play into a lot of things. If you want to play Aggro Guardian, aren't you just on Valda? Yes, Erica, and we're going to talk about Valda here in just a minute. It's actually the next hero we're going to talk about. I think Prism, KO, and Kasai are going to be big next season. I could be wrong, but I don't think Dedicated Fatigue is right in this meta call. It's very possible that it's not. It's very possible that it's not. I mean, the Fatigue Jarl deck has a pretty good matchup into Prism from like what I know about it. Kasai, you can just run out of go again. Like, you can actively fatigue Kasai pretty easily. Well, I mean, I say pretty easily. Like, you're looking to, like, loop them once they run out of go again with Everbloom in life. And you can also do that in, like, other warriors like Fang and stuff like that. But I will say KO. Like, OG KO, Armed and Dangerous, is the issue you run into. I do think that KO, Armed and Dangerous, will give you a fit with Fatigue Jarl. So we've talked about Fatigue Jarl a little bit. Let's actually take a look at the Fatigue Jarl deck. This is the list that I've changed it a little bit since Worlds. But leading up to Worlds, this was one of the decks that I was really working on, and I was really playing a lot. And like this was like one of the decks I was working on. I know Hayden lost his last round. He lost his last round to Prism Loop. So I haven't seen Hayden's list, but he wasn't on Fatigue. He was on like that mid-rangey like style build that I do not think does very well into Prism. I do think that the Fatigue Jarl deck does better into Prism because of how effectively it blocks everything. And you have a decent number of poppers as well. And you also have a good way to play around the loop with 3 copies of Midas Touch in the deck. So I don't think it's exactly the same like strategy, Teklo, but I do get what you're saying. Maybe interesting the Gravy matchup. Arsenal it and use it versus Conqueror. Okay. Fatigue Jarl is great into Prism. I agree, Alan. I agree. So taking a look at Fatigue Jarl, for anybody who has not played Fatigue Jarl, does not understand Fatigue Jarl, maybe like it, you know, like maybe you're just unfamiliar. And if you are familiar, then stick with me for a second because I'm going to kind of explain some of the small pieces of the deck here. I am currently playing Gauntlets of the Boreal Domain in my deck because I like to have a way to filter. I'm actually going to cut this in favor of the Gauntlets, the Iron Will Gauntlets, the arm piece. Just because like I think that is better when we now have Tectonic Plating in the deck as a way to cycle through our deck. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. One of the biggest pieces that you get from playing Fatigue Jarl is Rampart of the Ram's Head. There are a lot of decks that you would not expect to break the combat chain. KO breaks the combat chain because it wants to use the tyrannical gauntlets or whatever it's called. Gravy Bones breaks the combat chain. Dio breaks the combat chain a lot. There are a lot of decks that break the combat chain in this meta that allow Rampart to get tons of value off of pitching Heart of Fandle or like using Tunic to block with it efficiently. You have a lot of options. The other thing that Fatigue Jarl does really well is Coronet Peak. So you heard me just a minute ago mention that we are going to loop people. So there is a loop, and there's actually a video on All In Together's channel that explains it very, very well. If you have not seen this video, you should check it out after the stream. He does a very good job of explaining the loop and how it works. So the idea with the loop is that you are trying to protect your life total, not the cards in your deck. That is the most important part of this. You are trying to protect your life total. If you have enough life at the end of a game, you can keep Heart of Fandle, 2 Everblooming Lives in your deck, and any 3-cost blue to trigger Titan's Fist. Terra Sunder is the one that I like to pick out. So the idea is that you're playing against Syndra or you're playing against Dio. Or Acilio is a good example. You are going to activate Coronet Peak every single turn of the game that you have access to. You never want to leave those aggro decks with a 5-card hand. So by activating Coronet Peak, you are taking a card out of their hand. Now, these are all decks that don't play Tunic. If your opponent plays Tunic into you, you have to strategically activate Coronet Peak. Sometimes taking their Tunic counter is worth it. Sometimes it's not. Coronet Peak is the biggest piece that you get from playing Fatigue Jarl that really helps you like set up and keep your opponent off of big hands. Dude, absolutely. I'm happy to shout you out, man. You make great content, brother. Moving to the rest of the deck here. We're going to take a look at the rest of the deck here so that you guys can see what I'm looking at here. This is hardcore Fatigue. Like, you'll notice that there is not as many things like from the mid-rangey Jarl. Like, we still have Command and Conquerors. We still have Oakenolds, but we're not on Icy Encounters. We're not on the Ice Quakes in the sideboard and stuff like that. But we are playing very, very heavy Fatigue. We do have more 3-card 8s, or we have a similar number of 3-card 8s in the deck. I am on a 1-of copy of Roiling Fissure. I think this card is pretty good in Divergence at destroying like the ring. This card is very solid into Prism to be able to get things off the table. Roiling Fissure does a great job of helping you get out of specific jams against auras in grindier matchups when you need to get something off the board that generates lots of value over the course of like, you know, a 10 to 15 turn game where you're looking to stay alive and keep their deck value down at a minimum. That could be a good one. I don't know if I've made a short about that one. I'll have to look. And by the way, guys, if you are hanging out tonight, one, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here first and foremost. I'd like to say that. If you are new to the channel, we have 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. They are, what's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? If you're here for the first time and you never answer those questions, I'd love it if you throw them in chat. I'd love to get to know more about you. The other thing, if you're new, you know, and you like the stream and everything we're doing, you know, consider like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. It goes a long way in helping me out. All those free buttons in front of you, I greatly appreciate it. So Roiling Fissure fits into the deck pretty well. I am on all 3 copies of Everblooming Life. Everblooming Life is how we do the loop. So Everblooming Life, essentially, you gain a life, and then if you have a copy of Everblooming Life in your graveyard, you put that copy from your graveyard back into the deck on the bottom of the deck. And you're looping Everblooming Life with Heart of Fandle to gain life. Is essentially the combo. But like I said, Rob explains it very well on his channel. You're also playing 3 copies of Fiddler's Green, and you're playing 3 copies of Sigil of Solace, which means you start the game at 58, which is crazy. You just get to start the game above the starting life total to try and make it even harder for your opponent to kill you. Righteous Cleansing is a very, very big piece of disrupting certain decks. Now, when Verdance is stacking the Rampant Growth Life combo against you, this is the example I like to use. You can use Righteous Cleansing to be able to break up that combo or force them to block and get extra cards out of their deck so that they have a harder time comboing you and just keeping things out of their deck. Now, this does push you to memorize their pitch stack, but it does help you in the long run. Machai, I hope I said that right. The questions are, what's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Is Seeds of Tomorrow good for this archetype? So I would say that Seeds of Tomorrow does not fit in well to the Fatigue Jarl game plan, at least on the surface. It may be a solid like one of, but I would probably play no more than one, to be honest. My gut feeling, and again, this comes without any major testing, so take that for what it's worth, is that Crown or like Seeds of Tomorrow does not fit in super well. Excuse me. Because we cannot arsenal it. And so we don't have a way to always guarantee we're going to have an arsenal set up because we may have come off of an arsenal last turn. We may not have one. So that Seeds of Tomorrow may be good in certain situations, but I don't think it's always going to be great. If I was going to test it, it would be a one of in the sideboard. Overcrowded? You could talk me into Overcrowded as a one or a two of. I think that all of our blues are very tight. Like right now, like the blue count in the deck is very tight, and all the blues serve a very specific purpose in the deck. So if you wanted to fit one in, you probably have to cut a different sideboard card, and I don't really know what matchup you would want it for, unless you're looking at something like Assassin, where you're trying to like get some extra points against the Assassin matchup. It could be pretty good there. But I don't think it's a necessary card, Matt. What's your opinion on running Evergreen in the Fatigue deck? This is genuinely the first time I've thought about it. Like, wholeheartedly. First time I've thought about it, top it. Blue Evergreen, like a one of Blue Evergreen could be fine. I don't think it's necessary, though. So I think we're adding a 2-block to our deck that doesn't have high enough upside, is what I would say. So Everbloom in Life already allows us to do the loop and allows us to have this like super powerful late game. And so Everbloom in Life having this powerful late game makes it to where our one copy of Evergreen, or however many you're playing, is probably just like you're doing double duty with that card, is what I would say. Now, if you're in a position where, I think, like, I don't know how much Everbloom in Life is. I know the rainbow foil ones are like $30 or something like that. If you are like, you can't afford Everbloom in Life, then maybe you could play Evergreen or something like that. But I think we're trying to get a little too fancy, is what I would say. I don't think it's needed. Is what I would say. Yo, dude, Emmett, thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. Guys, again, I'm going to throw these out here just for anybody who's new, or maybe you're catching a stream for the first time. If you are here for the first time, we got 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? I should make a command that's like !Q so you guys can just quickly see them. I used to do that in Oldhim because it allowed another Earth react as well. Okay, so in Oldhim, Marcus, I didn't hate it because I liked having that Earth pitch. But we don't really get that value here. ! Hot dogs would be fun. Why is there no Earth Jarl? So, Michael, there was actually a couple versions of the mid-rangey Earth Jarl that did well at Calling Seattle this past weekend. But I think with Red Rootbound getting banned, I just kind of think those decks fall off a lot, to be honest. Like, I don't think those decks are really going in the right direction right now. Okay, let's talk about our sideboard and what we are up to here. Hey! Oh, it's just Trent using pants. I am wearing pants for anybody who's curious. I don't know why you'd be curious, but I am wearing pants. Yes, I promise. Um, as we look at our sideboard, we are on 3 copies of Poison the Will because we do not want to get got by Flurry or Verdance or anything like that. We're playing 3 copies of Midas Touch because it is a 3 block that we can pitch to AB if we need it to, and it's good into Gravy Bones. It's great. Love it in Gravy Bones. I think I saw a Mulch Jarl in top 64. Yeah, you're talking about Hayden. Hayden was the person playing Mulch Jarl. They top 32'd. Was awesome. Relish and Mustard are a classic. I'm Marcus. I got in a fab from the professor / Rudy. Oh, Alpha Investments. Okay, in summer of 21. My favorite hot dog toppings is relish and mustard. Yo, let's go. Well, Marcus, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Thanks for chilling tonight, man. I appreciate that. I'm Woody. Magic Spider-Man got me looking, and I'm glad I found fab. And I just tried about every type of hot dog topping. Close with about 50 styles of dogs I like. Yo, let's go. Well, Woody, welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here, and I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Guys, I appreciate y'all chilling tonight. It means a lot. Yo, we also have a first-time chatter. Arth2? Art who? Art how? Yeah, Art. We're going to go with Art. We're going to go with Art. I'm going to stick with that. It's a big hit on Earth Jarl enjoyers. Yes, Red Rupon Carapace hurts Earth Jarl a lot. So as we continue to take a look at the deck, you'll notice that I was on Sledge for matchups we need to race. I was on the same AB3 and Skullcat plan that I have in my Victor deck. I was on Imperial Warhorn as a way to like try and test and to try and make that a little bit better into Verdant specifically. And we're on 3 copies of Poison the Well. This was a card that did not naturally stand out to me that I actually got from one of my buddies. My buddy Randy was telling me that we need a way to filter our hand into the Verdance matchup. And having a blocking piece of equipment that allows us to filter our hand out into Verdance means that we can pitch cards we don't want to keep in our hand, and we can make surges, which may or may not matter if we want to throw like a Righteous Cleansing later in the game. And we also have block value here that we're never hindered by just jamming in front of a Felling or something. It actually goes a long way. So Tectonic Plating feels like it fits into the deck super, super well inside of Jarl. I want to spend a minute talking about Amulet of Echoes. I don't only think that Amulet of Echoes is good into these blocky, fatiguey style decks to help protect you against a Cilio combo. I think that a 1 or 2 of Amulet of Echoes is a great way in almost any deck to help you solve the like a Cilio matchup. I know that it was calling Shizuoka, I believe is how you pronounce that. The Syndra that won was playing a 1 of Amulet of Echoes in the sideboard, which I thought was really interesting to help with that matchup. So Amulet of Echoes is a card that I think is about to get a lot of stonks and about to go up in a big way to help almost any deck with the Acilio matchup. Because it's a blue, because it has Go Again, it fits into your deck, and the only real downfall is that it's a no block. That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. I'll have to check and see if I've done a short for Amulet of Echoes. I don't think I have. So yeah, I like personally, I kind of like where Fatigue Jarl is at. I will say, going back to Teklo's point earlier, that Fatigue Jarl does not do very well into OGKO, and that is something we have to consider. Because if we're not going to have a good plan into OGKO, we might need to consider running something like Balance of Justice in the sideboard. Like, we may need to find room to fit into a Balance of Justice. Like, maybe we cut the Imperial Warhorn and we play Balance of Justice. And maybe we end up running, like, 2 Amulet of Echoes and 2 Poison the Wells, and we play 2 Staunch Response to make sure we have, like, other tech pieces into OGKO to help us out a lot. I think that could be pretty good. I'm David. I got into Fab last month due to bad friend choices. Probably Ketchup and Mustard. Well, David, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, you had some issues with your friends, but I'm glad you are playing Flesh and Blood. This is a wonderful game, and we have a wonderful community, and I'm glad you are hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you being here and chilling, buddy. It adds disruptions to deck that don't usually have the options. Jarl just runs so many D-reacts that he's a bit low on disruption. Agreed, NQ. Agree a lot. So we've talked about Victor. We have talked about Jarl, both the Icy Aggro version and the Fatigue Jarl, and where we're kind of sitting at. We're gonna take a look at another Guardian hero in just a minute, because there are a lot of Guardian heroes that don't always get into the limelight. I know that Jarl is one of everybody's favorites. Everybody loves Jarl, loves to talk about it, and I get it. I'm a Jarl lover myself. But there are other Guardians in the meta. We have talked about Victor, and we have talked about Jarl so far. The next one that I want to talk about here, I want to talk about Valda. I think that we're moving into a meta where Valda could actually be really good. Like I think Valda has a chance to actually have a heavy impact moving into RTN season. I did not have Valda on the thumbnail picture as a joke. Maybe I'm coping. Maybe I'm crazy. But I feel like Valda has a real place in this meta, and like we could be looking at a pretty decent Valda meta. I told somebody earlier in one of the testing discords that I'm in that if they could prove to me that you can get Valda into a favored win percentage against Gravy Bones and against like a big chunk of the meta, I would take it to Battle Hardened Atlanta, and I would take it to Calling Columbus. But I put it on them. They had to prove this to me. That I would, like, they said, oh, like, this is favored into this. And I was like, okay, like, I kind of see what you're saying, but I was like, show me. Don't tell me. Show me. Like, I want some numbers. I want to see it backed up. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If I'm on Victor, you guys will know it was never proven to me. And if anybody hanging out in the chat takes that as a personal challenge, the 3 decks that I presented to my friend earlier is that I want to have a good Valda matchup into Gravy Bones. I would like to have a good Valda matchup into Verdance, which I've been told is like basically impossible, that I just need to let that go, which is fine. Everything's got bad matchups we got to dodge. If KO is going to be relevant, I would like to have a good matchup into KO, and I would like to have a good matchup into the Assassin class. I don't know how feasible all of that is, but if that is that's things I need if we're going to consider it for Battle Hardened Atlanta and Calling Columbus. Yo, Killick, what's up, buddy? Playing Suspensores and Valda isn't even that bad of an idea. I could see that. If I were to book a coaching session, what should I have prepared or planned to get the most out of it? I guess it depends on like what you're looking like. I don't know who your coaching session's with, but if you're looking to like get the most out of coaching, I would say that the number one thing you should have ready to go, like when you get into that coaching session, is you should be like, hey, like, here is how long I've been playing. Here is like on a scale of like 1 to 10 where I feel like I am at player level wise. And here is what I would like to improve on. And when I say thing that you should like go into it saying that I want to improve on is like, you don't want to say, I would tell you not to book a coaching session if you're worried about, if one of the things you're looking to improve on is how to get more like resources out of your cards, or like resource management or things like that, or like when to block with cards. Maybe you should like play a couple games and review them yourself first. But if you're really looking to get an in-depth hero, like I'm going to use Taylor as an example, is the best example. And I'm sorry, I know I've kind of went off on a tangent here, but Taylor Crawford, who I give a lot of grief to, but he has done quite a bit of coaching. And when Taylor stops trolling you and like tries, he's a very good coach in my opinion. And he does a lot of Katsu coaching. And so like, in my opinion, people come to him because they want tailored Katsu coaching, like, and so it's like you're coming in and you're saying, hey, I've played 20, 30 games with Katsu. I'm trying to hit 2026. I'm trying to hit the ground running. I would like to, like, really dive into Katsu and what makes it work and what doesn't work and struggling with this matchup. Like, things like that. I hope that helped. I hope that helps. Salsa. Valda mission accepted. Grublo. I'm looking forward to it. The only thing that stood in my way from last meta as Valda was simply Verdance. I've heard it's very bad. Please give me Magic Guardian good into everything. Quinn, I would offer to you Starvo, which is funny because it still didn't win the first PT. DM me later. We can cook. I've been working on the deck, dude. I will hit you up later, brother. I will hit you up later. I'm excited to see it. So guys, when we start taking a look at the deck and what I'm playing, be gentle, okay? I have not played a lot of Valda since she was released in CC. I did update this list today. If you are a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber in the Discord, you have access to all of these deck links with matchup guides and stuff. You are like, I have updated the matchup guides and everything that I'm playing in my deck. Oh, excuse me. Asking for one of your coaching sessions on some Guardian. Oh, Salsa, I'm sorry. I thought that was a general question. Not like tailored towards something. Salsa, if you're looking to like talk about doing like some Guardian coaching sessions, shoot me a DM, and I have like almost like a questionnaire of things that I like to ask people before I do coaching, so I can get an idea of where you're at and what we want to be learning. So just reach out to me and we can work it out. Here for Valda, let's go. Let's go. I'm here for it, Chris. Gravy draws cards, Cinder draws cards, and KO draws cards. I mean, there are a lot of heroes that draw cards right now. Okay. So there are a couple of cards that we have not seen that we're seeing for the first time tonight. The first one is Testament of Valhai, or Valahai. I'm going to go with Valhai. So Testament of Valhai is the Seismic Surge shield. It is the shield that you can get up to 5 value out of it. So if you have 0 Seismic Surges, it blocks for 1. If you have 3 or more Seismic Surges, it blocks for 3 total. It gets +2 to block for 3. If you have 6 or more Seismic Surges, it blocks for 5 total. You can get up to 5 block value out of this shield, which is kind of crazy to think about. A shield that can block for up to 5 and it can be split up into multiple things is actually kind of crazy to think about. So Testament of Valhai is like almost like, it feels like this should say like Valda spec, but it does work very well. The other equipment piece, the other Guardian equipment piece we have not seen in, like, that I've not talked about tonight is Iron Fist Revelation. Iron Fist Revelation is a 3-block temper, or it blocks for 2, then blocks for 1. When this defends, you may turn a face-down card with Crush in your arsenal face-up if you do put a +1 counter on it. This turn Boulder Drop into an 8. This turn put them in their place into an 11. Spinal Crush into a 10. I think this is the piece you want in Valda. You're able to block 3 and then get 2 offensive points. So this is a 5-point value piece of equipment. So we are automatically using Testament of Valhai and Iron Song Determination as 5-point pieces of equipment, which I think work very, very well. Just having these in the deck to be able to buff attacks is okay. Valda is also one of those weird decks where you're able to arsenal blues, and it doesn't really hurt you that much because your blue disables, your blue like cranial crushes. You can still play them off of 1 card or for free depending on how many surges you have. Let's talk about Valda first for maybe people that are new. Whenever an opponent draws 1 or more cards during an action phase, yours or theirs, create a Seismic Surge. At the start of your turn, if you control 3 or more Seismic Surge tokens, cards you own with Crush get dominate this turn. So Valda has a very powerful way of trying to reduce the cost of all of your cards while also giving them dominate, making them harder to block. Looking at our 44 card main deck, these are cards I like to play into everything. I am currently looking at 32 blues. I'm not sure if that's too many. I've seen a lot of decks playing like 29 or 30-ish. I think 32 feels okay, but maybe you could come down a little bit. A lot of the blues that I like to play are what I like to call flex blues. They are blues that have power. They are doing things in your deck that make sense. One of the most powerful blues you have in your deck is Solid Ground. This is a 5 block defense reaction that costs 1 less for each Seismic Surge you control. And it costs 3, which means at worst case, we can pitch it as a blue. If we already have 3 Seismic Surges in play, we can just play this thing for free from hand or arsenal. Solid Ground is one of the best flex blues I might have ever seen. It's so good, and it fits into this deck so well. I love Solid Ground. The other card that's really cool is Leyline of the Old Ones. Leyline of the Old Ones is an absolute all-star. I like to call it the Valda high roll when you get this thing into play on turn 1 or on turn 0. Anytime you can put Leyline of the Old Ones into play earlier the better. It says, whenever this enters the arena and whenever you deal damage, create a Seismic Surge token. At the beginning of your end phase, if you control no Seismic Surge tokens, destroy this. This is a 0-cost blue instant legendary Guardian Aura. When it comes into play, we make a surge. Anytime we deal damage to our opponent, even 1 damage, make a Seismic Surge. We are fueling our game plan and keeping things rolling with this. Plus, our spec, put them in their place, is just absolutely insane. This is a Valda specialization. It is a 6 for 10. When this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they discard their hand and then draw that many cards. You are doing 2 things with this. You are potentially, there's a potential third one here. We're going to talk about 2 first. The first 2 things you're doing is you're helping the fatigue plan. I don't think Valda is necessarily a fatigue hero on the surface, but put them in their place does help you with that fatigue plan where they are discarding cards and then drawing more cards out of their deck. The second thing that this does is that it fuels our hero's game plan. They are drawing cards during an action phase. We are creating Seismic Surges off of this. Put them in their place keeps that cycle going, where we're able to keep things rolling, keep more value, and just keep things rolling. And then the last and weird thing that put them in their place can potentially do is it can have major disruption. If you have an opponent, let's say you have an Acilio opponent, and you pitch 1 blue to throw a Dominated, put them in their place because you had 3 Seismic Surges. This comes in for 10, and it's Dominated, which means if they block with anything, they're drawing that many less cards. Maybe they finally drew the combo hand that they wanted. Making them discard their hand and draw that many cards back up could take them off of a very explosive turn. You could do this with Dio. You could do this with Syndra. You could take them off of their maximum velocity and make them discard it, and then all of a sudden, you're in a position where they don't have this crazy big hand, and you're now in the driver's seat, which is where you want to be. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you, Adam? I don't know if we're going to play any Telstar tonight. We're mostly just covering heroes and kind of walking through hero game plans to see how how Guardians fit into the new meta is where we're at right now. So put them in their place fits into the Valda's game plan very well. Jade over on Twitch mentions that they don't like Surface Shaking, that it feels like a bad card. Surface Shaking is a card that you put into play on turn 0, or it is a card that you put into play when you have tempo. Otherwise, it is a 3 block. I have felt, to Jade's point, I have felt like Surface Shaking is not an all-star. It's not insane. It doesn't feel like it's this crazy cracked up card unless you hit it on turn 0. But Surface Shaking says that when it enters the arena, create 3 Seismic Surge tokens. This card by itself turns on our hero ability, which I do like a lot. Being able to just create 3 surges and automatically have your hero ability going is a very, very impactful place to be, and it puts you in a very good position. Also, Surface Shaking says, at the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. Then you may put up to X cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck, where X is the number of Seismic Surge tokens you control. Draw cards equal to the number of equal to the number of cards you put on the bottom of your deck this way. Meaning that you do have the ability to put some cards on the bottom of your deck and kind of keep that rolling so that you can filter other cards out and get better cards into your hand. I also noticed that NQ said it is good with Earthlore Bounty. If you are on an Earthlore Bounty build, Surface Shaking can be very, very impactful. One of the last like really big like tech like flex blues that I want to talk about here is Tectonic Instability. When this card first came out, I was not impressed by it. Like I'm going to be honest, I was probably horribly wrong to say this, but Tectonic Instability did not impress me when I first read it. This card is insane. You can arsenal it, and then you can disrupt your opponent by making them put their arsenal on the bottom of their deck. You can arsenal a card you don't like that much, and then put your arsenal and theirs on the bottom of the deck. And then you make Seismic Surge tokens equal to the number of cards drawn this way. And because of Valda's hero text, you make an extra one. Tectonic Instability, honestly, one of the best flex blues that we have to play in the Valda deck. It's disruptive. It sets up our hero game plan. I love Tectonic Instability. Guardian Dissolve Reality. I kind of like that, to be honest. We're just going to write that down there. Ooh, Carly made something for dinner. I can smell it. Carly's cooking food. Let's keep moving on to the sideboard here. Now, the sideboard is where, like, I have a lot of... I will say Valda offers us the most flexible sideboard that I've played of all the Guardians recently. Oh, wow, I didn't think about that. Tectonic Instability is Sage legal. Wow. Wow. That's actually crazy. I just now thought about that. Hooray! Sorry, I haven't got to do that once tonight, so we needed to have confetti on the screen. I wanted to have confetti on the screen. As we look at our sideboard, you'll notice that I have more gravy tech sideboard cards in this deck than I do in most others. I'm on 3 Batter to a Pulp, I'm on 2 Midas Touch, and I'm on a Blow for a Blow. Meaning that we have 6 ways that kind of help us deal with Gravy Bones, and can like help us continue to like just try to keep the board clear while still fueling our game plan. Let's talk about this one for a minute. This is probably some of the spicier tech I have had in my Guardian decks over this year, trying to like combat Verdance. If Verdance drops out of the meta, we probably don't need to run Smashing Good Time. I like playing 2 copies of Smashing Good Time in Valda because Dominate is a hell of a drug. You can Arsenal Smashing Good Time, crack all your Seismic Searches against Verdance, give it +3, and blow up a potion. Like, this card feels really good. It could also be very good into Dio. Like, randomly, we're probably just trying to fatigue against Dio, so it's probably not that good. But it could be very, very impactful against Dio if we decided Item Destruction was better. But Smashing Good Time blows up potions and takes Verdance off balance. And we're already playing a hero that dominates a lot. So this is like... I think this is like a pretty cool sideboard card. If Verdance falls out of the meta, maybe we consider not playing this. Does this destroy gold? Great question, Isaac. The answer is no. This does not destroy tokens. It has to be an item that is not a token on the board. Are these lists getting put in Discord later? Yes, Salsa. I will be adding each one of these lists we've talked about to the Discord so everybody can find them later. They will be under the streaming deck list section. I will be adding all of these deck lists later. You'll notice I'm on a 1 of Amulet of Echoes. If Facilio starts to run rampant, we might get a second one in there. But right now, I'm playing a 1 of Amulet of Echoes because I think that it's a good blue. We can play it into Verdance if we want to. I have heard Amulet of Echoes described into Verdance as simultaneously doing nothing while also being awesome. So I'm not doing the 6-7 thing. But 6-7, I'm just kidding. I'm very up in the air about how this is into Verdance and how it feels. So I don't know. It's just something to keep in mind. Crash and Bash. I love this card. Salsa says unsubbed every time I say 6-7. Crash and Bash is honestly awesome. It's crazy to me how impactful this card is and how well it fits into the game plan. Being able to block for 4, reveal a crush card from your hand, and make a Seismic Surge token is insane. Like, this card just fits in super well. It's so good against like aggro decks. I just love the way it fits. We're also on Shelter from the Storm as a good like another like defensive piece that we can like play. I just think it feels good. I'm on 2 pummels. Now, I have been playing less pummel in my Guardian decks as of recent because I've been playing a more fatiguey style matchup. I've been playing to block a lot, grind people out, like whether it's Victor and we're trying to use Miller's Grindstone to grind people out, or whether we're playing Jarl and we're gaining life and blowing up equipment and doing all kinds of stuff. I've been staying away from pummels recently. I think that Valda is such a naturally offensive hero that I think pummel can be like a really good card in this deck. It naturally feels like it should be a 3 of. I'm playing 2 of it right now in this list because I wanted to fit a second red Staunch Response into the deck. I just think that Staunch Response is going to be good moving forward in this meta. And so, like, just having 2 pummels feels like it fits in really well. Don't like this card, Amulet of Echoes. As an Acilio player, LOL, pal, that's so funny. Red and blue Aftershocks, Marcus, we're coming back to that. We're going to talk about Aftershocks here in just a minute and why they're not in my list. Red Crush the Week is just like fodder for Assassins. I think it's good into Assassin. I just like Crush the Week seems like a fine card. This card could be Renounced Grandeur, was one of the cards that I kind of went back and forth on playing this together with. Like Crush the Week feels fine. It does well into like Syndra. It's good into Assassins, but this could be Renounced Grandeur. Could be good enough to play. And then Red Disable. Which Able? Disable. Red Disable is just a good Arsenal disruption piece that fits into the Crush game plan. And there's a world where if we have 3 Seismic Surges, we pitch a blue our opponent, taking away their arsenal. Disable does it all. It lines up very well. I like this card a lot. Another deck where we have Sledge in the sideboard if we need it for anything. I do not think this is an Anothos matchup. If we ended up pivoting into a world where we play something like Zealous Belting in the deck, then maybe we end up on a world where we're trying to play Anothos or something. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it could be very, very possible. Balance of Justice, just again, as a great new, like, it's just a good piece moving into the newer meta here that we're talking about. Okay, so there was a couple of cards mentioned here that I do want to talk about, and then I also want to talk about some other sideboard cards here that we're not playing. In the list right now, not in my list right now, but something that I did see somebody playing was Authority of Ataya. Authority of Ataya is hot. Like, I had not considered it. I'm gonna like tip my hat here to Hal because this is not something I had thought about. Hal is a buddy in one of my testing discords. I had considered before the stream tonight cutting a Surface Shaking, playing 2 seemed okay, and then playing a 1 of Authority of Ataya. Or maybe we're supposed to cut Grandeur, like Grandeur of Valhalla, and play Authority instead. I don't know. Like, too many Fables is kind of weird. But I just think that Authority makes a lot of sense because you are turning off defense reactions, which are like, you're making defense reactions harder to be played, which are like absolutely insane into you. Every deck will be playing defense reactions into you, I think. So playing Authority just makes a lot of sense. The other card that we should talk about is Aftershock, both blue and red. I really, really like blue Aftershock a lot. I think that blue Aftershock fits into this deck so well. I have been considering cutting Promising Terrain. I'm not really a fan of this card. It kind of seems like doo-doo, to be honest. Like, this card just doesn't seem that great. I'm not a big fan. of Promising Terrain. It's felt very mediocre in all of the games I've played. So I would probably consider cutting Promising Terrain for blue Aftershock, because I think blue fits into the deck almost perfectly with the cost curve. Like, I think it's almost too clean for how well it fits into the deck, if I'm just being honest. I think it's almost too perfect for how it fits into the deck. And then red Aftershock was the other card we were talking about. Red Aftershock, I think red Aftershock was like the consideration between playing Boulder Drop or not. I considered like playing red Aftershock in that slot, but I think that red Boulder Drop is just more consistent. Like, it's just consistently better. There's a world where maybe you could cut Crush the Weak from the sideboard, run Boulder Drop down here, and then play red Aftershock in the main deck. That ability to be able to generate new Seismic Surges is pretty impactful. It is really good. Like, it seems very, very solid. You don't have to fight me too much about anything like that. Oh, we got Lyeth coming up. Pace. Don't worry. I have not forgotten about our boy, Lyeth. Trust me. We got Lyeth coming up. We're going to talk about a couple of different things. But yeah, I don't know. This is the Valda deck. This is where I'm sitting. Obviously, Rob has been cooking. I'm very excited to see what Rob has to say. So, yo, let's go. Dude, damn it. Thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch as well. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a whole bunch. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. You gave up on him? Our boy. Okay, whoa. There was an intervention while I was live, sir. An intervention, for God's sakes. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I'm helping Belle with Gravy, and she's been playing the whole time without Portside Exchange. What? I thought Portside Exchange was like an auto include in that deck. Is it not? You left my little man out on the streets. I'm sorry, Isaac, okay? I'm sorry. I did not think he was the pick for Worlds, so we pushed him to the side a little bit. Yes, we pushed him to the side a little bit. I'm sorry. I wonder if Damien ever got back to me about that deck.
Let's freaking
All right.
go. You love to see it.
Let's see. What did I miss? Victor Anir, thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. It means a lot. Thank you. Also, it appears that Dude Emmett, I missed your sub over on YouTube. I apologize for that. Dude, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube and the follow on Twitch. And Victor, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate that a whole bunch. Oh, huh. Yeah, I thought it was like necessary. The intervention was to play a good deck, not Fatigue Jarl. No, Gavin. That is not what the intervention was about. I was testing Lyeth and basically only Lyeth at that point in time. That's what the intervention was about for me to play not to play Lyeth. This is the tech you can do around Promising Terrain, like responding to it. Popping like a Acilio at instant speed, creating Seismic Surge with Seismic Corruption. You can cosplay Acilio. Okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cool, actually. I kind of like that. So I am going to level with you guys. Damien sent me a message and asked me not to share the Pleiades deck on stream. So I'm sorry, guys. Damien's a friend of mine. He asked me not to share it on stream. So I am gonna have to keep that one under wraps for a while. But yes, there is a deck that I know people have been Pleiades deck people have been working on. But I'm not allowed to share it with you guys, so I apologize. Told you guys I would always be honest with you, and the truth is that I was asked not to share it, so I'm not going to. Okay, so we have talked about a lot of the Guardians so far, and like how they fit into the meta, and like how the changes look with this post BNR world. And let's talk about the last Guardian that we're going to cover tonight. Don't worry, Damien. It's cool. I think Pleiades is a good pick right now. Probably Fatigue or mid-rangey. I'm not going to share anything. Do you think Valda can hang with Gravy? Chris, I was having this conversation with somebody earlier, and I have been told that there are versions of the Valda deck that are very, very good into Gravy Bones. I have not tested this theory, but that's what I was told earlier. I made it back just in time. Mello, welcome back. Okay, so whoever said, let's talk about whoever does not know this. There was an intervention that Taylor and Sam had with me prior to Worlds, live on my stream and while we were recording breakpoints. Was live on my stream while we were recording breakpoints during my 24-hour stream, where they basically told me not to play Lyeth. And they literally told me they were queuing into me with bad decks to try and make me feel better about the Lyeth deck, and I was still barely winning. So they had encouraged me through the terms of this intervention to move away from Lyeth. I actually think we might be at a place in time where Lyeth has a real place in the meta right now. I actually think there is a place in the meta where we can actually talk about playing Lyeth right now. I have 2 Lyeth decks that we're going to talk about. The first one that we're going to take a look at here in just a minute is Jason Rolfe's deck from Calling Valencia. And the other deck that I have talked about, I want to make sure I get their name right, Cosmo Han from Battle Hardened Vienna. These are the 2 decks I want to talk about. And I'm going to talk about these decks because they approach Lyeth in such different ways. It's so interesting. Bro is on the sauce. Dude, I'm always on the sauce. I'm always on the sauce. My short king is not so short anymore. I remember you mauling about Syndra. I mean, to be fair, I played Syndra at Worlds. I never liked playing Syndra. Every time I play Syndra, I'm like, God, why am I playing this deck? I hate Syndra. And I just played it because I thought it was the best deck to play. And to be fair, it did win Worlds. I just was not the person to do it. Oh, man. Interventionistly, though, they make jokes about that all the time before we record. You guys just don't get to see it because it's before we start recording. Okay. The first Lyeth deck we're going to talk about is Jason Rolfe's. So we're going to talk about Calling Valencia and Jason Rolfe's deck. A lot of the equipment that you are seeing here is pretty standard. It's pretty stock stuff that you are seeing in the equipment base. The one thing that kind of jumps out to me that I tried a little bit, but I never found much success with was Snapdragon Scalers. Snapdragon Scalers in Lyeth always seemed pretty weird to me because I was like, why would we play this? We don't really have any great follow-ups. And to be fair, that is still pretty true. The Crater Guardian boots that give something dominate from Arsenal might just still be better in my opinion. But Jason Rolfe used Snapdragon Scalers to be able to like just throw an extra attack. Whether that was Hammer, or maybe he came in with 1 crush attack for 7 and then another crush attack for 6. Just trying to split up the damage and use Snapdragon Scalers. He also used Snapdragon Scalers to put in like a 2 steps ahead one time. So it was a solid chain ender. Jason made this card look very good. But I got to be honest, I am still not entirely sold on Snaps being good enough in Lyeth. I've been summoned from the copium den. Wow. Taylor, we were just talking about that time that you and, Sam, jammed a knife into my back. That's what we were just talking about, literally. Snaps into 2 steps ahead is a good reason for snaps. That's fair. That's fair. Makes a lot of sense. I still think Lyeth is not good enough. It works because people didn't know anything about the Lyeth decks. People won't be folding in after the showcase. Yo, Vero, what's up, dude? Yo, Vero making a showing here is absolutely crazy. I don't think I've ever seen Vero in chat before. Vero being in chat is like a rare occurrence. We truly have a celebrity hanging out with us. Actually, I haven't seen Vero in a while. Used to seeing him at events, but I haven't seen him in a minute. Taking a look at the rest of the deck here. There are a lot of like what I think are utility blues in this deck to make it work. You're on Booze, you're on Concealed Object, you are on like Goon Beatdown or Escalate Violence. Like Escalate Violence is a setup card. Concealed Object helps you come over the top. Booze is a good setup card for the booing effect. Power Play is a great arsenal. Snaps in a 2 steps ahead, like we were just talking about, is very, very impactful. Imposing Visage to help you search for something else. And then one of the biggest pieces that I like at blue is Terra Sunder. Terra Sunder fits into this deck so well. If you are to throw something like a battered, I guess not battered, beaten, and broken because it's not a guardian attack, but I guess something like a short shrift, right? So short shrift and Terra Sunder is such a combo because you are getting your opponent to basically discard 3 cards if the crush effect hits. Now, you need this to be for like 11 or 12, a pretty big number, double-digit number for probably both effects to happen. But I do think Terra Sunder fits in really, really well, and that it just helps with that disruptive effect where you're attacking with something for 8 or 9, and maybe the We Wrecking Ball wouldn't normally hit, but We Wrecking Ball with Terra Sunder, you're talking about getting an arsenal and 2 cards from hand. That's insane. Who wouldn't love that value? Terra Sunder lines up so well. Aggro Blaze 96 looks like Michael Cera. I don't know that. What? That's so funny. Captain, what's up, dude? I don't think I've seen Vero enter chat and not immediately shitpost. I mean, he will. That's Vero, and he loves to shitpost me. It's my favorite part of our relationship. Also, yes, Vero, it has been a while. I hope you're doing well, brother. Good to catch you live. Samuel, I'm glad you can make it by, man. I'm glad you're hanging out with us tonight. The thing that really stands out to me here about the way that this is built and that the way that it works is like the attack actions in the deck, right? The attack actions are one of the things that stand out to me. When we were first building the deck and trying to make it work, we were on like a lot of different attacks. Like we were playing We Wrecking Ball. We tried the overturn the results and the fix the match and stuff like that. But you see like the main attacks here that we're really focusing on are battered, beaten, and broken, cut a long story short, and short shrift. Those are the 3 main disruptive attacks. You have power play and mocking blow as damage, like turn fillers to kind of help your turn keep pushing things along. But I would say that short shrift, battered, beaten, and broken, and cut a long story short are really the bigger pieces that are trying to disrupt and keep your opponent on the back foot or in a weird way. Next card that I want to talk about that's probably kind of obvious is Leave Them Hanging. Leave Them Hanging is like just absolutely insane. I love Leave Them Hanging. Being able to intimidate, then use block with attention grabbers, and then being able to buff your thing by 4, like your next attack by 4. Sign me up, dog. That's insane. That's crazy good. So Leave Them Hanging, just like, I honestly think one of the more powerful cards revealed from Super Slam as a whole. Like this card's just really, really powerful. It does all of the cool things really well. So yeah, I like Leave Them Hanging a lot. It fits in with what we're attempting to do very well. Just being able to intimidate, slow your opponent down, buff something up. It does it all, right? Been in Australia for 2 weeks and been MIA from the Fab scene. Good to see you on the Short King. Yo, Fabton. I hope you had fun in Australia, man. I'm glad you're here. 1 less 0 for 4 in the format makes me happy. I bet it does, Drew. I bet it does. I will say it is interesting to me, and this was like one of those like conversations that like I think we had a lot while I was testing this deck. Is that there are nimbleisms in the deck, but there's not minnowisms in the deck. Now, maybe minnowism just like doesn't really matter as much, I guess. Because we're not playing like the little Bigfoot Guardian version of the deck that I was testing and stuff like that. But nimbleism, I'm kind of surprised that like nimbleism is in the deck and minnowism's not, because minnowism I think technically hits off of more stuff. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's literally just no. It's like nimbleism literally just works with everything, I guess, except power play. It does not work with power play, and minnowism does, right? So minnowism literally works with every attack in the deck, and nimbleism does not. So maybe Jason just wanted to play his EA version of like nimbleisms. I don't know. Like I think that Like Minnowism is actually just technically better, right? Like I think it's just technically better in the deck. Anyway, this was a card that stood out to me. When I was testing Lyeth originally leading up to Worlds, there were a lot of people who were like, you should try Razor Reflex. And I was like, you should go back to the Copium Den, as Taylor just called it, because that's crazy. Juan Nardo? Really hope I said that right. Juan Nardo, thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. It means a lot. Guys, if you are here for the first time or you are new to the channel, there are 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Read Jack Be Nimble. Oh, I guess you're using Nimbleism for this. Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. That's not something I would have considered at that moment. But I was not very convinced on Razor Reflex at first. But Razor Reflex is kind of like this version's deck of Pummel, and I don't mean that literally, but like if you're able to like throw a short shrift and your opponent is just like blocking enough to like cover the short shrift text, like Crush Effect, then Razor Reflex goes over the top, which is very, very impactful. So I think Razor fits in better than I thought it would. Plus, having an extra blue on your turn means that you can activate Lyeth and you can still use the resource for Razor. Plus, Tunic works for Razor if you need it to. So there's multiple ways that you can get Razor into play. It makes a lot of sense, and it's a lot better than I originally thought it was going to be. 110% better than I thought it was going to be. Can I go back to Vincent streaming in the new year after holidays? Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're back. I hope you guys had fun on your trip. Looking at the sideboard here, I think a lot of these things, like they've kind of just become more stock over the course of time. Midas Touch is pretty interesting because I don't know if like this is probably to like, I mean, you probably just lose to Prism no matter what, right? So this probably isn't to stop Prism Loop. But I do think that Midas Touch is very good into, could be very good into Gravy Bones. I don't know if this is enough to help you beat Gravy Bones, or like if you're just gonna like, I don't know, get like rolled by like Gravy Bones, because it always felt like a really bad matchup. Somebody asked earlier, and I might have answered this already, but if I didn't, I apologize. Are these deck lists going to be available anywhere? They will be in the Discord after this. After I get done streaming, I will post them in the Discord under the streaming deck list sections. Every single one we're going to cover, so you guys will have access to them. But Midas Touch is interesting. I don't know. Gravy matchup is actually not bad in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, using Razor to play 2 steps ahead does seem really good. Midas Touch just mean you get rolled harder and slower? First off, that's what she said. But yes, that does make sense. I mean, I completely get that. I completely get that. Like, I don't feel like Midas Touch is the answer to that deck, but Sigil of Solace is a 3-value card. Peace of Mind as a ponder and preventing damage. Calming Breeze to beat Syndra. This probably gets cut, or maybe not. I don't know. I guess it depends on how important Syndra is. It looks like you can fatigue Verdance pretty well. You're on AB3, and you also have access to like Arcanite Fortress, which is super interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is super interesting. Like how the deck has been set up. This was something that caught my attention. Quelling Slipper was never something that I thought about. Quelling Slippers was never a card that I was like, oh, this card's good. This card fits into the deck. Like, I never once thought that. Quelling Slippers never jumped out at me. It was never crazy. But it has been, like, it seems really good. It did look pretty good. There was a camera match where I saw Quelling Slippers in play, and I was like, what? But it's pretty good. It fits in pretty well. Plus, I'm sure the foiling on, like, the Slippers is pretty cool. So, Quelling Slippers being in the deck is actually really interesting. And then I guess the only other card we haven't really talked about is Jack Be Nimble. I think this is just another way to, like, add Go Again. So this comes in for 2 because of Lyeth's text, and then it gets +1 and Go Again. And when it hits a hero, still an item they control until the end of this action phase, which means you could just, like, steal a gold from Gravy Bones and, like, crack it to immediately draw a card. You could do that against, like, Victor. You could do that against Dio. I guess there's quite a few decks that Jack Be Nimble like works into quite a bit. With some of the BNR changes, there's probably some small changes you could make to this deck to like try and make it work just a little bit better. I'm not sure what that would be, to be honest. I think Calming Breeze is the first thing I think of as something that can come out. Or maybe Slippers. I don't know. What does Quelling Slippers accomplish? You can pitch a blue and you have Quell 1. So like you can prevent like breakpoints with Quelling Slippers into like certain matchups fish. Just being able to like stop those over the top, like either reactions, flick knives, breakpoint attacks. Quelling Slippers actually seems like a pretty decent fit into a deck like Lyeth, where you are looking for every point to help you cover things up that you can find. Let's see. We'll just call that 219 and come back to that. But anyway, this was Jason Rolfe's version of Lyeth. The deck was really interesting. And like, to see him have such a good run was really cool. I like Lyeth a lot. I really hope Lyeth continues to do well. And I hope Lyeth looks good in the metagame moving forward. Let's talk about the other variation of Lyeth. This is Cosmo Hans from Battle Hardened Vienna. Again, you are noticing high AB. Don't, guys, like I know there are crazy different decks in this, but we're going to talk about all the cards here. We're going to talk about all the cards. I'm just curious into what matchups it would be played into exactly. You probably play Quelling Slippers into like Syndra. There's probably other ones I'm not thinking of. Like it might be good in a Dio randomly. I'm not sure. This list is crazy is right, but I got to tell you, I'm freaking here for it. This list is awesome. This Lyeth list is so cool. So you're on a lot of the same equipment pieces that you're used to seeing. You're on Skullcap, Tunic, Attention Grabbers. And then I don't think there's extra sideboard pieces. Oh, this is the whole deck. There's no sideboard. It's not been set up yet. Okay. So there is there's not Snapdragon Scalers. This matchup is Quelling Slippers and every matchup just looking for 3 value, which is really interesting. Again, a lot of Arcane Barrier to try and combat Verdance. There is natural access to AB4 in this deck. You are running AB4 Tunic and you're running Skullcap, which is crazy when you think about it. Actually, I guess you're running AB3 and Skullcap. I don't know why you would play Nullrune Hood and Arcanite Skullcap. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, maybe they're getting aggressive in the Verdance matchup. I'm not sure. Okay. Let's just start at the top and kind of work our way down. The first card that stands out is obviously Fire Breathing. Like, what? This card's crazy. So Fire Breathing is so cool because late in the game, if you have multiple blues stacked up, you can do some really crazy stuff where you can just try to go over the top and cheese people with wins. It comes in for 2 automatically off of Lyeth's ability, and then every resource is just +1. So if you are looking to try and close the game out and pitch stack Fire Breathings, or maybe you draw like a Fire Breathing and 4 blues, you could go ham. I mean, that's immediately what, 12 damage? I mean, it's only a 5-card 12, but still, like it requires a lot of blocks or a lot of damage to leak through. Seems like it could be a very, very good closer. I do like Fire Breathing in the deck. It seems really cool. It seems very neat. The other thing that they're on that I really like is Little Bigfoot. I love that they are playing 9 copies of Little Bigfoot. I wanted this card to be good in Lyeth so bad. It feels like this card was just designed to be good in Lyeth. With the cost curve, like I tried to play this in my Guardian version of the deck where we were playing Pummels for a while. You can activate it with you can activate it with your hero ability for like Lyeth's Text if you need to. There are a lot of cool things you can do with Little Bigfoot, and at yellow, blue, red, they all fit into the cost curve very, very well. They are playing through 3 copies of Truth or Trickery. I was not sold on this card. I was not sold on this card. I was not sold on Truth or Trickery. We played it when I first started testing the deck, and it never felt great. I didn't really like it that much. It felt very like I don't know, just felt very like memey. It is a block card, which means you cannot use Lias' ability to buff the defense. It's automatically halved, which kind of sucks. So I don't know. I am just like it always felt okay. I have been got by this card before. I have been the getter when I play this card into certain people, but it just never feels great. I don't know. It just always kind of feels like a trap, I guess. I don't know. Truth or Trickery is confusing. Same, dog. Same. Is good. Why is this bad? It's not about having a good poker face, right? Like, I don't think Truth or Trickery is about having a good poker face. So the comparison in Q between Test of Iron Grip and Truth or Trickery does not feel very accurate to me. Test of Iron Grip is a mathematical probability of how I'm building my deck that I'm going to hit a card that wins the clash off of Test of Iron Grip. Truth or Trickery is I'm going to say one thing or another, and you have to figure out if I'm lying. Or you can just randomly guess. The problem for me is that it leaves the answering up to my opponent. I am giving my opponent a decision, and I don't like that. It is often referred to, if you have played Magic in the past, that cards that give your opponents decisions are not good because you are giving them opportunities to make the right play and do things better. And I think Truth or Trickery falls into that category. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Truth or Trickery for that reason. Like Test of Iron Grip, I understand what you are saying, but it feels like a bad comparison. So anyway, they are on Fiddler's Green. Absolutely great inclusion. Blessing of Serenity is great. Just another 3 value card. Very, very good. Battered, Not Broken is make a might token and prevent 2 damage. Another 3 value card. Oasis Respite. We're on 6 copies of this. We're on yellows and reds. Red Oasis Respite is a 5 value card. Yellow is a 4 value card. It's basically like as close as you're going to get to a defense reaction. If you want to activate Liath and use Oasis Respite, it works very, very well all in one turn. Fits super well into the deck. So I could see it being very good. Now let's talk about the blues that we're playing, because the blues are very, very interesting. The blues are super interesting. Before we talk about the blues, there are 2 cards I want to talk about. The first one is Withstand. If you are playing Liath and you have not tested this card is like a chef's kiss of perfection. I love this card. Absolutely love Withstand. It's so good. Withstand is so good. It fits into the deck so well. Oh, by the way, I just saw Erica. I just saw your message, Erica. A Land Before Time reference on the Little Bigfoot? Yes, 100%. That is a great movie. I love The Land Before Time. Withstand is going to get a lot more stock in this meta. I think that Withstand gets a lot of stock in the OG KO, and it's going to look a lot better because it allows you to block these bigger cards off of 1. Off of basically pitching a blue and playing this card is so valuable because your Rampart blocks for 7 now, which means you're blocking a big claw, you're blocking a big guardian attack. Into a guardian or brute meta Withstand, absolutely peak. Because if they, even against Rhinar, if they go to intimidate you, you play Withstand in response. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You play it in response, and they don't even get to intimidate this card. You still get the block value. You still pitch to blue. Card lines up super well. 2 copies of Remembrance. I'm just assuming we're playing Fatigue with this version of the deck, which makes a lot of sense. We're on Step Authority, we're on Embolden, we're on Last Ditch Effort, stuff like that. But this one perplexes me. And I gotta tell y'all, before I pulled up this list, I spent the solid 5 minutes staring at Remembrance in this list in silence, trying to figure it out. And I have yet to see the vision. Like, I understand Remembrance is good. It shuffles cards back in. Like, it does the thing. But I just don't see the vision with Remembrance. If anybody knows Cosmo Han and has an answer to this, I would love to hear it. If Cosmo would like to reach out to me and clarify, I would love to hear about it. But I don't see the Remembrance value. Battlefront Bastion is really interesting because this card is a 3-block when you activate Lias ability, which lines up very well because you can activate Lias ability, pitching a blue, and then use Rampart and get the full 3 value out of this. Cosmo has truly done a phenomenal job of trying to find every card you can get value out of, which I think is really good. The vision is the vision. Rouse is so bad. If we're talking about in Lyeth, I tried it in Lyeth and it was okay. But if you're talking about, I feel like you might be behind talking about Jarl, Casey. You can use Remembrance in response to the Huntsman D-React. So in case anybody's watching and does not know this, if you have a Remembrance in Arsenal and your opponent plays Hunted or Hunter or whatever the blue D-React that Huntsman plays is called, Arachne trigger goes on the stack. Arachne trigger resolves, they leave it on top. Before the D-React hits, you play Remembrance and shuffle the deck as like a cool trick for anybody who's like is not aware of that. Sirens of Safe Harbor, another card. No, Casey, you're fine. You're good, Casey. It's all good. It's all good. Sirens of Safe Harbor, another card trying to get all 3 points of value out of the card. Makes a lot of sense. I like it a lot. Let's talk about Stamp Authority. Because I got to tell you, if you were here for the Betsy crash out, you know that this card, I believe it lives in a special place in hell. Wait, this isn't what I'm thinking of. Wait, what am I thinking of? This is not it. It's not Stamp Authority. Never mind. Wrong card. Never mind. I do love Stamp Authority because this is the one that goes up in Intellect. This card's really neat. Anytime you have the ability to abuse Intellect in a hero that's already playing already a 5 Intellect hero is crazy. Using Stamp Authority as a way to go up to 6 Intellect is actually crazy. I also considered like Pursuit of Knowledge in my Lyeth deck for the Guardian or for the Gravy matchup as a way to like try and combat that matchup, and it seems pretty good. I do like Stamp Authority. This card's really cool. I like this a lot. Stamp Authority is really cool. Plus, it takes away on hit effects, which is pretty neat. Couple of other cards we don't see very often. Last Ditch Effort. I love this card. Last Ditch Effort fits in so well. There was a variation of Victor that Fatigue Bread was playing for a while, where he was playing 3 copies of Last Ditch Effort as a way to close the game out really late with Goldmane Estates, which I liked a lot. Last Ditch Effort is a great card. I love to see this card into decks. I know that most people don't like it. I played this card in Tree Frog -IE originally back in the day when I was first playing -IE back then, and I like this card a lot. It's super great. Stonewall Confidence is a card you do not see very often, but it was very good against Briar. We used to play this card against Briar a lot back in the day as a way to stay alive and continue to stay on. It continues to stay on the front foot. Cards you control with cost 3 or more get +2 while defending at the beginning of your action phase. Destroy this. So you have the ability to play Stonewall Confidence and then just block for more. You don't even need to activate Lyeth. It's cards you control with cost 3 or more. Not even action cards, cards. Which is like a lot of the deck. Like Embolden, Stamp Authority, Terra Sunder, Last Ditch Effort, like Sirens of Safe Harbor, Battlefront Bastion. Absolutely insane. I think that this card is a great 2 of, and it fits super well into the deck. I actually like it a lot. This is another one we don't see very often. But when I tell you I'm here for it, I mean, I'm here for it. I love Towering Titan. Towering Titan's so cool. I wish it saw play in more decks. It is a 9-cost Guardian action aura. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy Towering Titan, and the next Guardian attack action card you play gets +8. +8. It's so cool. I don't know. I just love that. I really like Towering Titan. I don't know if you ever actually get to like do this or if it's just a meme, but man, if Cosmo got to do it, tip my hat to you, sir. I tip my hat to you, Cosmo. Heart of Fiendel. I said for multiple weeks that Heart of Fiendel was good in this deck. I'm very glad it's seeing play in this deck. I like the list a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cosmo was on some sauce. But it was on some sauce. It was on some sauce, but it worked. Which version of the deck would I play and why? If you put a gun to my head and made me pick a version of this deck to play, I would play Jason's moving forward. I think that the idea of playing more offense, like playing offense with like short shrift and cut a long story short, seems better to me. I think that is a more consistent game plan. But who knows? If everybody is ready for Jason Rolfe's version of Lyeth, and you're playing this, you may just like, ka-chow right into kisser. You may just get him. Could be good enough. Who knows? It's very interesting. It is very interesting to like think about and just kind of like, I don't know, walk through with the deck here. We've talked about a lot of different heroes, and now that we've talked about some of the different heroes, I want to talk about where I feel like Guardian wins and loses with this set a little bit, like, or with the BNR before we like kind of wrap up and play Arc Raiders. The biggest win from this is the Verdance L. Like, Verdance taking a big hit is a big deal. I 110% think that Verdance taking a big hit and, the effects of Rubon Carapace are going to be felt when Verdance players are playing. I think that Verdance getting hit is the biggest way that Guardians move into the meta in a positive way. Chart the High Seas also takes away some of the gravy high roll, meaning that you are not just like getting juiced. Like, you are just not just like getting hammered or hosed anymore. You are, like, there is a better chance for you to be able to keep up and do things. Gravy's still going to be a tough matchup, but I think we can try to make it happen. But I think that Verdance getting knocked down helps a lot. KC KC says more so than Kano and LL. Kano hitting LL. Kano hitting LL is obviously probably the best thing that's happened to Guardian in a long time. I go to most tournaments like Guardian isn't real. I'm just like, it's not real and it can't hurt me. Most tournaments. So like, and I've been very fortunate to dodge it for the last handful of tournaments I've been to. So I like, in my head, it's not really a deck. And now thankfully it's not. Now we can actually say Kano isn't real and can't hurt us and we can mean it. So yeah, I'm actually really like, I'm very excited about that. Before we jump into Arc Raiders, guys, I know you guys are all Guardian lovers. First off, thanks for being here tonight. Second thing I want to say is I have been working on this passion project for the last few weeks. It is my Victor like metafy guide that I'm going to put out. And I know metafy guide, the streamer's trying to sell me something. If you don't want to see it, you don't want to see it. If you love Victor, I am writing like a close to like 30 or 40 page guide on every single thing I know about Victor, cards I'm playing, cards I'm not playing. All of my free time is going towards writing it, especially now that BNR is out. That's going to be released before the beginning of the year, so you guys can know everything that I like have about Victor. So if you guys like Victor and you are interested in reading like a passion piece that I am just dumping my time and energy into, that is going to be up before RTN season, so you guys will have that to be able to read about. If you had to pick a Guardian for RTN right now, who are you rolling with? I am 110% bringing, like, if there's an RTN tomorrow I'm taking my Lyeth 80 I've been playing and seeing what happens. Like, that's exactly what I would do. Sorry, I can't read. LOL, NQ. We need to all get the subs together to all bring Bravo to a calling and get our boy over the line Just all 100 of us swap attorney with OG Bravo. Honestly, I'm in. You twisted my arm. I'm in. Let's do it. Yo, Captain Morgan, thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. It means a lot. Thank you. Guys, if you were here just for cards, that is going to do it for Flesh and Blood. I appreciate you guys coming to my 2.5-hour TED Talk about Guardians and their place in the meta. I am going to take a small break here. I'm going to get some more to drink. And when I come back, Carly and I are going to be playing some Arc Raiders. So if you like Arc Raiders, stick around. If you were just here for cards, thanks for coming by, and I hope you have a good night. And I'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys.
Kyle requested 5 subs of water. Fucking weeb. It was not water. That was not water.
Oh, here, have some water.
I was lied to. The lies. Yo, only 4 cups? Listen at this man. That is 4 full cups, Cusco. This fucking guy, bro. This fucking guy. What? Rookie numbers? Bro, Cusco's out here. Look, this motherfucker's just sitting over there with a pot of sauce going, oh yeah, I'm stirring that shit up, baby. I'm stirring it up. Oh my God, we're going crazy tonight. This is as close as I'm ever going to get to going Super Saiyan right now. So I just need you all to know how, back-to-back Command & Conquer pummel turns in back-to-back games. And you know what? Just like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not fucking leaving. That's right. This is the kind of content we're looking for right here. The fab tutorials that blow your mind. Blow your mind. The recipe is literally just vodka and Sprite and some Mio. You know, it's the water flavoring things. You know, like the little squirt. You squirt the little water in. You squirt the little juice in the water, and then it's like, oh, no, this is so good. That's what it is. That's the secret sauce. I just crammed them all in my mouth. My God, this hand is dog water. Absolute dog water. I lied. You definitely did. It's your friends that you trust the most that hurt you. Can't even get my words out without laughing. Fuck. Dude, Call of Duty? Bro, look, dude, I'm good. I'm not even that drunk, Diablo. Dude. Ugh. Make you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart, you know what I'm saying? Am I like, who's your daddy when I walk into a room? No, absolutely not. Oh yeah. The more tired I get, the more the accent shines. The accent shines. I deserve 5 for the joke and pour 1 out for my future kid's college chances. Hope he's good at football. Kyle's killing me right now. Kyle just gets my sense of humor. Oh my God. My face is numb. Kyle requested 5 subs of water. Fucking weeb. It was not water. That was not water.
Oh, here, have some water.
I was lied to. The lies. Yo, only 4 cups? Listen at this man. That is 4 full cups, Cusco. This fucking guy, bro. This fucking guy. What? Rookie numbers? Bro, Cusco's out here. Look, this motherfucker's just sitting over there with a pot of sauce going, oh yeah, I'm stirring that shit up, baby. I'm stirring it up. Oh my God, we're going crazy tonight. This is as close as I'm ever going to get to going Super Saiyan right now. So I just need you all to know how, back-to-back Command & Conquer pummel turns in back-to-back games. And you know what? Just like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm never fucking leaving. That's right. This is the kind of content we're looking for right here. The fab tutorials that blow your mind. Blow your mind. The recipe is literally just vodka and Sprite and some Mio.
Conflict's done.
Water,
Nice.
flavoring things,
All right, we're live. Don't be racist.
I have a dilemma about our proposed treaty to play Arc Raiders.
You have my attention.
So we could fight on site, right? We could anybody, right, could get the smoke, you said.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I mean, I almost did.
And Carly and Allie can loot goblin, right?
Yeah, it seems like the best of both worlds.
What if we're in the same game?
We can't all four play together.
No, he's saying, what if they
I
spawn
know.
in?
What if we just happen to be in the same lobby, Zach?
Well, it'd be a
I feel like
shame.
that's highly unlikely, though.
I mean, it is unlikely.
It is highly unlikely, Zach. I need to know the answer. There's a wrong answer here, Zach.
I mean, listen, we love them, but these hands are rated E for fucking everybody.
You'd kill me, Kyle.
No, see,
For
that's
the
the
position
beauty.
you put me in for getting this game, yes.
That's the beauty of it.
Fair enough.
I would kill you, and Kyle would kill Carly, and that way we can't lose. It's genius.
We'd still lose, but we'd be winners in spirit.
Oh my god.
I think it's a perfect idea.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Oh, sorry, Curly.
No, you're good. You don't do damage to me.
Or do we just end up being like middle school bullies at that point? Be like, if you want to live,
There
give
are
me, like,
people
a
over
bunch of
here
money.
that we're shooting. God, let's just get out of here. This is.
It would
This
100%
is hectic.
turn into it. What's it worth to you? How much do you want to live right now?
I think it would be different. I think they would hear me walking around just saying not friendly, and they'd be like, "That's got to be Kyle. We got to turn around. This is not the way."
I could also see that. Trent says hi, Kyle.
Hi, Trent.
You don't have. It's gonna take some damage, but
Yeah, that's fine.
we just gotta go right here to leave.
So, Kyle, do you own it yet, or like?
No, I'm gonna be broke until we come back from Christmas at Allie's. So
How
after
much-
Christmas, maybe.
How much is this game, Carly?
I don't know.
Like $40,
Don't answer that
I think.
question. Don't. No, I don't. No, I'm busy.
Kyle,
Zach.
it's Monday.
No, it's not. It's Tuesday. I thought it was Tuesday yesterday.
Scotch tape. I'm so clear of anything.
I'm not so clear of anything. I got
Oh.
to stream here in 15 minutes.
Oh, don't, buddy. You can stream this. I'm streaming right now.
I'm not streaming that shit.
Why? It's
Yeah,
great.
notice you're streaming it after the game you normally played. The one that pulls in all the views.
Well, yeah, duh.
I haven't got to
Okay.
pull in all the views yet. By the way, both of my views.
Oh, they're in Speranza. You guys can send me an invite if you want to. Like, that's fine with me. I just invited you both in case.
Well, we're in Discord, so it doesn't matter.
I love Olan Rogers. Do we know who this is?
Who?
You need to turn on push to talk, please. Trent just said, I love Olan Rogers.
That sounds like a trap is what it sounds like.
Like, is this a D's Nuts joke? I'm so
I don't know.
Do we know who this is?
don't know nothing.
No.
Allie?
Nope.
Well, Allie, you got an hour's worth of Arc Raiders in you?
What? Maybe.
Maybe.
Unlikely.
Owen Rogers is an American filmmaker. He's also a YouTuber.
That's what you were quoting, brother? That I'm so clear of anything, I'm scotch tape. Oh, that's the guy who does the Ghost in the Stalls video.
Oh,
I didn't know that was his name, Trent. I just learned something. That's cool.
I didn't know that was his name either.
He's the scotch tape guy.
I've gathered that. You won't believe it.
Okay, Allie, we'll be in trios, so it's going to basically be shoot on sight. No one's going to be
Make
friendly.
sure I put stuff in my pockets.
Yes. Put stuff in your butt, definitely.
And bring healing.
Thank
Bless
you.
you.
Thank you.
You guys want to do a cold snap on Spaceport?
Allie has only played Dam and Buried City once, and that was pretty chaotic as duos. Like, we were getting shot at, and it was a
I
whole
don't
thing.
care.
Damn Battlegrounds during the day it is.
But we can do
Pair.
Spaceport. Allie hasn't done the cold snap yet, so It's up to Allie.
Put shield regenerators back in my thing.
Listen, Trent, how much I know about putting things in my butt is none of your business, sir.
He has no experience, I can promise you. But me, let me tell you guys, pro. He's laughing, but it wasn't a joke.
Lizard.
some people get to have all the fun.
Re-up on bandages.
Easy over there. Trent literally just said "whoa" in all caps in the chat.
thought I had found some blueprints, but I
Yeah,
guess
Trent,
not.
sub to the OnlyFans if you want to see it, buddy.
Allie, do you want to try the cold
You're
thing,
welcome,
or would you
man.
rather just go back to Dam? Like, it doesn't matter either way.
Oh, I don't care. I'm fine with whatever.
Let's just go to Battlegrounds. I need a warm-up game.
I do
Alright,
have.
I need to go set up stuff for my stream, so I'm going to get out of here.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Okie dokie.
I love you.
Have a good night, everybody. I love you, baby.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Yay.
Fuck you. I heard that from the other room.
my man came back just to say that. Amazing.
I didn't even get to minimize Discord or pull up Streamlabs over it yet. I just heard gay from the other room.
That's so funny.
I'm still on the lookout for an empty wine bottle.
I will let you know when I find one, dog. I'm also doing those challenges with you.
Oh, I need to see if I can make... Where do I go to? Workshop. There we go. Gear bench, workbench. Oh, I don't have the medical bench yet. Oh, but I can probably trade with that guy. The clinic. Herbal bandage. Oh, it doesn't unlock until level 7. Okay, fine. Hold on to my herbal bandages.
Herbal bandages are where it's at, dog.
I almost got my ass ate by a tick.
It's funny
They're the worst.
because that could be real life or in the game. Sorry. Clearly
No,
that
you're
wasn't
fine.
very
That was
funny. Yeah, I could tell by the way you laughed.
So you get nothing. You lose.
Lose.
That was cards.
Good day, sir. I was good. I didn't play a single game of Flesh and Blood.
I was wondering about that. I looked and it was an hour in, and you
Need
were
to go
still
find Field Depot again.
The water intake below the
talking.
water treatment control building is the most likely
2.5
About-
hours, and I just talked about heroes and
I'd start there if I were
how
you.
the metagame is changing and how Guardians look in the new meta. At one point, somebody joined and was like, "Are we playing games tonight?" And I was like, "Well, this is awkward."
That's funny. Beck, if you see a Field Depot, we need to stop.
A Field Depot, or like the little cell thing that goes in the Field Depot crate.
Both.
Both. I need to put that thing in the thing.
Oh, interesting. Kyle just left, huh?
Yep.
Well, we are 13 minutes late into the raid.
Okay.
So, a raider cache. Regular bandages. Oh boy. This one? No.
I know it's deceiving. It looks like one.
Yeah, I thought it was one, and I was like, "Oh, this is it. We're here."
No, there is one nearby.
I was like, "Isn't there?
think.
Isn't there one over here somewhere?"
Yeah.
I'm alright. Don't nobody worry about me.
Okay.
Thanks, Allie.
No problem, buddy.
Bunch of drones just spawned in right here.
Yeah, there's like
If
3 of
anybody's
them.
Up there.
Anyone what?
apricots or lemon?
No, there's
My
like one
chicken
spot to
requires.
find them on
Yeah.
Dam.
Oh god.
It's just us shooting a bot.
Yeah, I realized the bot was just like right on top of me.
I was like, yeah, it's about to fall on your head, though. You can grab that snitch scanner, and then we can throw them at players later if you want.
I imagine this has been looted.
Wow, they didn't get any of the lockers? Really?
Oh, bunch of losers.
That's crazy work.
These are the best things to loot.
All right, well, that's...
I mean, as in, like, they're just my favorite. I love looting them.
Now that I get. Allie, you said you need a wine bottle?
Yeah, if you got one,
I did find one.
coming to you.
These people didn't go too far. I just killed a rolly ball in here.
It's not. I feel like rolyballs respawn in. They have to.
Really?
I don't know. I'm convinced that they do, but I could be mistaken.
So we don't know that. That's just like a vibe check.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like some of the stuff just isn't looted.
Empty wine bottle. Over here.
They left some of it open so that they could kill us when we got in here. Or hiding, waiting on us. What if it's a cash bar? How dare they?
Ooh, Allie, I found a comfy pillow. Did you need another? How many comfy pillows did you need, Zach? Do you remember?
3, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Do you need a bed? Cat bed?
I don't think she's gotten to that.
Oh, here's another very comfy pillow. How about that?
Poor Carly.
A very comfortable pillow. In here, by me.
There you go. There's 2 of them. Go crazy. Hey, you better keep flying, Rocketeer. You don't want the smoke. I was half expecting it to like immediately turn around when I said that.
Ooh, silencer 2 blueprint.
Nice.
Wow. Lucky.
Riley said that you said that blueprints are more common now than they're supposed to be.
Like they were telling me that this morning that apparently something was broken in the game and like blueprints were popping up like crazy.
I found the people. They're dead.
Oh. What killed them?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there are multiple people in here. Dead.
Oh, I found the crate. Allie, I'm just gonna walk this over to the crate because you'll get credit for it, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't want to fuck that up. I'm just gonna run it over to the thing and you can put it in.
Pause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry,
heard
Donnie. No tough nut tonight. Dude, happy holidays, Donnie. Thanks for coming by tonight, man. If I don't talk to you again before Christmas, hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you guys celebrate. Or if you don't celebrate a holiday, hope you guys have a happy Wednesday. Thursday. Wednesday? Something like that. What day's Christmas on?
Pretty sure it's on Thursday, buddy.
Thursday.
Ah, field depot. Ah, Harley, you gem of a human.
I do what I can.
Grab that snitch scanner. We can throw them at people.
Hornets.
Okay, well, why don't you grow?
I will if you don't want it.
I'm lucky if I can manage to throw a grenade.
You sprinted over here like you were gonna do, like grab the stuff from it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
No, I breached the thing.
Oh,
Anything good in there,
people on your left, Carly, on your left.
I don't think they're there anymore.
Because they're up my ass. I got a couple shots on them. They're right here. They're marked. We're reloading. I got a kettle. Here they come. You got them. Fuck them up. Hornet behind you guys.
You hear that come in here?
Behind you!
An window is en route. The safe window is closing. 10 minutes to get out of there. I repeat, 10 minutes.
Did we get that guy? Like, did we thirst him?
His buddy's crawling around out here. Rocketeer's looking at us.
Are you shooting the Rocketeer?
No, I'm shooting this Hornet Wasp, trying to get it to go away. I thought there was a person behind you. Oh shit, move, Allie. Fuck.
I was hoping that would help. Kill it.
I'm shooting the front right thing. The front.
Oh shit.
The
I'm
front.
down.
Crawl inside if you can. I'll defib you.
I am inside.
Where the fuck is my defib? Well, move the second you get up. It's dead, it's dead, it's dead.
Nice.
Ellie, make sure you take a shield charger.
Yep.
Nice job, guys. Good navigation.
Question is, did their buddies run away?
I honestly don't know what happened there. I was about to be like, Allie, who is that mysterious man talking in your background? And I was like, oh yeah, that's Kyle.
This guy has some bullets. Well, actually, I'm going to take some of those.
All right, does anybody need Rocketeer drivers for anything?
Allie will eventually.
Not Rocketeer ones. No.
Not yet. I think she's on the Hornet ones.
Okay.
There's a shield recharger in this guy.
You need a Hornet driver, Allie?
I don't
Scavenger
remember which one I need
over
right now.
here.
Here, Allie, I'm gonna drop these for you. Just take them, just in case.
Okay.
Hey, Rocketeer
Like, just
driver.
keep them. I don't think you'll need them right now, but they're worth a lot of money, if nothing else.
One of these days, I will know how to do things.
If you ever want
I
me
think
to
you have a pretty
stop
good grasp
telling
on
you
it,
stuff, like I'll.
actually. Is someone right
Yo,
here
you
leaving?
friendly? Yo, you friendly? Okay, yeah, we're friendly. We're friendly. You scared us. We didn't know you were here, so. Yeah, we're friendly. We're friendly.
Are you all full? Do you want to leave?
I mean, I'm good to leave with him if you want to.
Allie?
Allie?
Huh?
Are you good to leave, or like, do you want to stay and loot
Yeah.
other stuff, or?
No, I'm full.
I'll
What's
call it
happening?
in. This other person doesn't trust us. To be fair, I don't blame them. There's 3 of us.
I'm dancing.
Should have killed him. I'm kidding. God, I need Kyle to have this game.
Maybe he was one of the people who was part of that trio that we.
It might have been. Probably like the last guy that didn't want to fight, and then the other guy pushed us. Hooray! Confetti! Guess if I push the loathing back to 9. I'm bringing a Rocketeer, or I'm sorry, a wolf pack in my butt pocket from now on.
Okay, yeah, that's where mine came from.
Just, we had a wolf pack?
It comes in handy. That's how I started. That was the big explosion on the
Destroy any
Rocketeer
arc enemy
initially.
using a fireball burner.
What'd you say, Allie?
Destroy any arc enemy using a fireball burner.
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
Oh, I have some I can bring you.
Now somebody just has to tell me what a fireball burner is.
You find them on
Here.
like the little like
The
rolling balls.
fireballs.
Yeah. How many hours do I have in this game? Stacks. More than I would care to
Too
admit.
many.
Let's see.
We don't want to talk about that.
I currently have 54 hours topside alone, which is kind of crazy. I think I have like 70 hours played in this game so far. We've been playing it quite a bit.
Rookie numbers.
Yeah, Carly, that's right. You have like what 100 hours topside?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Flesh and Blood and Arc Raiders are
don't
my
have a
two
life.
favorite things at the moment. They are also two of my favorite things at the moment, right behind Carly and Taryn.
No. Gay.
There it is. There it is. Am I out of shield rechargers?
Anyone gifted you some candleberry soap yet?
No, nobody has gifted me candleberry soap.
I save up.
Lance.
Is that an option?
He just said that to me. I don't. It didn't. Sound
No,
like-
I know. It's one of the things they talked about in like the new festival, or not
Shield
festival,
recharger.
Flickering Flames, that the candleberries like can be used for perfume and soaps and
No.
Need another bandage.
If it was an option, I was not aware of.
Need more medium bullets.
more bullets for my man.
Oh, got it. You got to get the goop,
That's
dude.
heavy.
I'm at like 75 hours in
What the fuck is
total.
goop? I keep thinking about goop. What
It's
is
all
goop?
everything, anything
It's
that's worth
loot.
money that you leave with the goop.
Yes.
Okay.
It's looting. It's
You can't blame a gooper for
Yeah.
gooping.
oh my
Oh
god.
god.
Sounds so bad. I don't like it.
I watch. Yeah, that's kind of the point. I think.
I know.
I watch too much Burnt Peanut. Obviously, I think I just watched too much of this game. Do you guys know that Tfue came back?
Yeah.
Crazy, and he's playing Arc Raiders with Ninja.
I was like, yeah, I thought Ninja was supposed to be playing with him. Did he actually get around to playing with him?
They played with him. They played with each other today.
Nice.
Yeah, which is so funny because they used to be like arch enemies or whatever.
Yeah.
I got this game 2 weeks ago, expecting to refund it. I've been addicted. Dude, Joe, I get it. Carly and I, like, Christmas is really getting in the way of us playing Arc Raiders.
Yeah, I'm
Wasp
trying not to think about
drivers,
that.
Hornet drivers, snitch scanners. That's what I need.
I'm at like 75 hours total, and I have 1.8 million. I mean, dude, I feel like 1.8 million is not bad. Are you doing the expedition stacks? And Joe, I guess for you as well. Are you guys doing the expedition thing? We should all just go into Kyle's chat and tell him that he should play Arc Raiders. You are doing the expedition? So I'm not, but Carly is.
Yep.
Carly, would you like to ready up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops.
I can see Allie's picture, so I know when it's you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Allie has her picture on there. Normally, I have to guess if it's you or Diablo. I mean, I guess there's that big check mark that says ready up at the top of my screen above your name. But, where would be the fun in that?
That makes
Fun?
no. I think he Tiffany went to go run some errands or something, and he also mentioned that he was gonna have to take her back up to Seattle.
Oh, yeah, I do remember. I'm going to cheese and have a Wolfpack blueprint. I'm going to trade a friend and get it back post reset. Oh, dude, come on, get out of here. Yes, Stacks, there is like apparently like a glitch today and like the drop rate. There's a lot more blueprints in the game today than there is supposed to be. Ooh, the very beginning.
I found 5 blueprints in one building.
See, that's crazy. How have I found 0 blueprints today?
Well, I was also doing it on the cold, so that might be where the glitch is more likely to occur.
They said the cold and Stella Montes was like 2 places you could expect to see more stuff.
I wonder if they're gonna fix it.
I'm sure they will. They might have already fixed it. I mean, that was this morning.
We've been finding a lot of blueprints today.
Have you?
Yeah, more so than usual.
Well, I have anyway. I found like 3 or 4.
People?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Where?
Right around this building? Is that or a tumbleweed?
Tumbleweed it is.
I am pretty sure I saw a person. Stay frosty.
Get ready if you stay ready.
Fair enough. Good answer.
Frosty like my flakes.
I unfortunately am always late.
What was that noise?
Turret sees somebody. Yeah, it sees somebody.
I have to kill a turret.
Can I do it, or does she have to do it?
I think so.
To which one? I asked you 2 questions.
I think you can do it. Is my like that's.
Did you get your quest, Allie?
Maybe. I don't see my quests, so.
You can pull up the menu and look over on the left. Search for a notice board with a note from the researcher. Oh, I have quests. What is the Nelica building?
There are multiple.
It doesn't say
buildings.
I destroyed a turret.
Oh, that was a sentinel. That wasn't a turret. They're different. So that's why. Even though it's...
They feel the same to me.
But no, I know. But they are called different things.
I don't see any rolly balls over here. Okay, there's some down below, but none up top, so... I don't know if people are already here. Yeah, we should just go up the zip line and loot here. Oh, the research and admin goop's on another level, dude. Oh. Yo! Are you good? Are you good? Or was it just a rolly ball?
What kind of rolly ball? Oh, here's a Allie, here's a turret.
Dude, the Guardian part of the stream, it went really well. We talked about like all of the Guardians and how they fit into the meta. If you're interested in like Guardian and like seeing where it fits going into RTN season, I would go check it out because there was a lot of like chat like jumping in and like sharing input. It was really good. Vertical grip 3 blueprint. The check mark means I have it, right?
Yeah, Allie probably doesn't.
Oh yeah, Allie.
Oh, hold on.
Finish looting this room and I'll come in there to you.
I forgot. I muted Carly in Discord. I'm like, why isn't Carly talking?
I'm like, Allie, here's a turret. Did you get the turret thing now?
Let's see. Yes, I did. Thank you.
Here, Allie, pick that up right here.
I'm sorry.
A vertical
you
break
had
blueprint,
your
Mark
game
3.
Allie.
earlier.
Right here behind you.
Yes.
Pick that up.
Okay.
See if you have a check mark on it.
You had your game chat on earlier, so I just was like, I'll just mute you. And no, there's no.
Well, you
check
could
mark
have
on
said
it.
something.
Oh, nice.
That was.
That's a
Yeah,
blueprint
well,
you don't have then.
It was weird.
Do you want it back?
No, it's a blueprint you don't have. You can consume it.
Oh, okay.
Consume.
A lot of
What's
shotgun
my
shells.
next? Destroy a fireball. Destroy a snitch. Destroy a hornet.
Fireball.
Like,
The thing that like ran into you was a rolly ball, but it must have just exploded on you.
yeah, I don't think
So
I
it didn't
killed it.
count.
I can't wait to tell Kyle that Allie's just in here letting things explode on her.
Right in my face.
You just had to do like the most Kyle thing ever and take it an extra step, didn't you?
Yep, sure did.
And whatever that is really close to us.
The probe?
Yeah.
Shotgun choke blueprint. I have that one though.
What is it?
Shotgun choke.
I wonder if I have that one. Probably.
I found a Compensator 2 blueprint.
A shotgun choke blueprint, Mark 2.
Where did she go?
That probe is gotta be like right on top of us.
I do not have that one.
Oh, there you go.
I am going to take that one. Thank you.
Thank you.
In any time though.
Do you also need wine bottles,
No, I've done the wine bottle one.
Zach?
No, I've done that one. Thank you.
And they're still in here if you want to take them. I don't have room.
A light bulb.
There's a light bulb. I think that's something you need.
Just a tick. Just a tick.
Fireball.
Is that like something on top of us that's making that noise?
Yeah, so it's a probe. It's something you can search. Well, I'm
Are we
full,
in-
and I've got
I mean,
some
I am
pretty good
too.
stuff. Somebody just blew up below us. They're on fire right below us.
Yeah. Is the next thing down just the bottom, or is there another one in between us?
Just the bottom. Hey, the Buddha News. Thank you so much for becoming a member of support on YouTube. I appreciate that a whole bunch. Thank you, thank you.
I'm good to go if you guys are.
Do we want to ask if they're friendly, or how do we want to play this?
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
You guys
They don't seem
friendly?
friendly.
Hello?
Are you friendly or no? I'm so confused. You didn't say anything. Oh, my bad. You didn't say anything, dog.
Mad aggressive, bro. Mad aggressive.
It's trios, dude. It's always sweaty as hell. It scares me.
La boo boo, bro. La boo boo. 6'7"?
6'7", my man. That's what I'm talking about. Let's leave. I don't trust these fucking rats for a second.
Hate to tell you.
They stand out there
What'd you
staring
say,
at
Allie?
us, not saying anything, and then when I shoot them, they're like, "What the fuck?" Ugh.
Well, if they're not shooting back immediately, that's usually a pretty good sign.
They weren't shooting me because I was behind a wall. They couldn't see me.
I was standing
One
there.
of them was, one of them was standing on like the counter, open.
Very good.
Okay. I need to go find that wasp thing.
Right there.
The water facility.
Well, not that, but
Hauling it in and then chilling over here in the rocks.
Confirming your request. Just hang on a second. There. Elevator is on its way.
I'm honestly just surprised we found a friendly trio.
me too.
Call it in, Allie.
Allie, did you
Carly,
need
get
these
in here.
things
Carly, get in here. Carly, get in here.
Oh, you said call it in!
Oh boy, was that close.
You said call it in!
Yeah, well,
You
I thought Carly would come inside the thing, and she was like, "Oh, do you need these?" And I was like, "No, get
No,
in,
sorry, I
get
got them.
Okay.
in."
It was a hornet, so I didn't know if you needed a hornet one too.
Cool. Yeah, see, Joe, that's always been like how the game has felt to me. Is like duos and trios like more often feel like shoot on sight than it ever does playing. Like playing solos, I feel like people are pretty chill.
Especially with the new quests that came out and the new stuff, like everyone's just like doing everything, and
Yeah,
there's like 6 people in the same building trying to do the quests. It's pretty fun.
they're just having a good time. Like they're just loot whoring it up, you know.
As one
As you
does.
do. Yep.
Yeah, same, different words, same thing.
Okay, I need to.
I'm really enjoying just playing daytime down Battlegrounds. Like, when I play by myself, this is the only place I go.
Really?
Yeah. I love daytime damn Battlegrounds. I don't know why.
I mean, I do really like Dam as well. You gotta hit the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I get
Plus,
that.
I kind of enjoy the cold and looking for berries.
I
mean-
suspect that would be much sweatier, but I'm also open to looking for berries.
Oh wow, there's a lot of people in the Discord. Oh my god, so many people join the Discord. I thought Carly had a.
You hit
welcoming screen.
800?
I have no idea.
You probably did hit 800.
I don't know. I'm pretty bad at knowing how to check that.
You're at
$7.99.
$7.99.
Hilarious. 799 people in the Discord. That's so funny. Dam is the best map, especially for PvP. Just the layout and the flow of the map. Yeah, like, I don't know. I just feel very comfortable, like, running around on that map.
Lizard.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Are we going back to Dam?
Yeah, that's what I picked.
Okay.
Oh, wait, didn't Allie say she wanted to do the snow thing?
Here, we can do whatever.
Let's do the snow thing.
Is it still at Spaceport?
Spaceport. Spaceport snow. Prepare to fight.
I do have several keys.
I think I actually have a Spaceport warehouse key. Let me look. I gotta look and see what I have.
I got rock.
You can find volcanic rock.
I have a Spaceport warehouse key. That's the only thing I have. So I'm gonna bring it.
I have a trench tower key, but
well, hopefully we spawn over there then.
Well, I'm not gonna bring it because if we're over there, we'll just do the warehouse key.
That's fine. Whatever pans out, I'm good with. Rover. This is
I'm
Rover
just here
to
for the
Rover.
loot.
Facts, though.
That's
Rover.
right.
This is Rover to Rover. Over.
Any messages? No messages? Odd. Better check the outgoing. If you so much as
Hunt
utter...
you down and
yeah.
hunt you like a...
There it is.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
No, dude, we went and saw it in theaters the other night, and I think I was the only person that actually watched it.
I watched it, except for the middle part where I fell asleep.
Yeah, you're hearing that, right? Like you're hearing that, right?
No,
but I did.
As somebody that used to work night shift, I understand falling asleep in movies. There was a point where I stopped going to the movies because I would fall asleep, and I'm like, I'm wasting my money.
Hope you're close for the season, Raider. It's a
So
good day
the
for
point of
picking
this one is
candleberries,
stay
but
inside,
do beware
right?
of frostbite.
You do have to go outside, but when you do go outside, you have to take a break and find somewhere to shelter.
I have to search 4 tunnels in
Are we
the
going? Are we
underground.
staying down? Or?
So I need to search 2 more
4
things while we're
containers.
under here. One of my quests I have.
Did you get credit for that one? Or no? I may have been too high up.
I killed a turret. And a tick.
Where are you? I don't even hear you shooting.
Fireball. Do, 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 do. I just kept walking, like, down the little pathway. Looking for things to breach and search. I have one more, I think. Yep. I found one.
Zach here. Or Allie. One of you take this. Whoever gets here first can have it.
Hey, a fireworks box blueprint. Over here.
A fireworks box blueprint.
I'll let Allie have it. Okay, we can leave now. I just needed to do that for my quest here.
Okay. Hold on, we can...
Find and monitor any filtration system in the tunnels? What? We're going this way?
Look for... There should be... yeah. But there should be, like, some yellow thing that you can... I don't
doing a
remember what
look.
it was, to be honest. That was a rolly ball. Hopefully Allie got credit for it.
Bill says destroy fireball.
Oh, that was a pop, not a... That was Zach right here.
Here.
Silly me.
I guess I can do it for you.
It appears that way. Good monitoring. Now we have to go to Blue Gate.
Interesting. That's a new thing that they updated.
Run quickly so we don't freeze to death. Do.
How long do we have before we freeze?
I don't know. I've never really
It's
tested
a-
that limitation.
It's a bit
Hang
of
a
time.
left to dodge
like
those
it's not.
hornets.
A hornet.
I don't know. After a
Watch
while,
this hole.
your person just starts getting like, they start going brrr and like things like that when you're walking around. Pretty funny.
They get more and more covered with snow.
Oh, yeah, I might try to duck inside. There's a lot of snow on my guy.
Yeah, I might go into this building over here. I don't know how to ping things.
Allie went in over there, it
Find the
appears.
arrival building.
Our
Mm-hmm.
arrival building.
Yeah.
Friendly? 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 Oh, not friendly. Not friendly.
Okay, coming.
I was friendly. I was trying to tell you.
Where did they knock you out already?
Yeah, Allie's dead.
Yeah.
Where? Trying to get to you. Holy fuck.
There. A raider.
There were two of them on me.
Yeah. GG's, guys. Oh, Fallout Season 2 came out today? Oh, I did not know that.
What came out today?
The first episode of Fallout
Fallout.
Season 2.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Man,
It came out at 9 p.m. tonight. That was my first death.
that was my gun.
That's
I
pretty
spent all that
good,
stuff
actually.
blading. Damn it.
Well, okay, so I died my very first time out, but I didn't count that.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't count.
Like-
The first one never.
Since I've, yeah, but like since I've been playing, that's my first death. I do wish to do your survey. Yeah, I wager that the new maps and stuff are not going to have very many friendly people.
Especially because that one was like the cold snap.
Yeah.
And as soon as Zach and I were in that building and you were over there, I was like, I gotta run over there just in case. And sure enough,
I died. What's Scrappy got for me? Thank you, Scrappy. Appreciate you.
Need
Had my back as
advanced
always.
Mechanical component.
Oh, it takes everything. My guns.
What?
oh
Wow.
yeah. So when you lose, when you die in game, you don't come back with anything.
Yeah, you
Unless-
lose everything.
Except for what's in your butt pocket.
Well, lucky for me, I had some defibrillators in my back.
Same. Big same. I'm hearing Allie better than you? Oh, I'm hearing Allie is better than you. Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, bro, I'm so bad at this game.
No. Same.
Hey,
Definitely.
no, both of you take that back.
Mm,
Both of you take
Fine,
it back.
fine. I take it back.
Fine.
Allie, say the words.
I take it back.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't have. How do I can only put light shields? How come I can't wear medium shields?
Because that little thing to the left of where you put the shield, the augment, it specifies what kind of shield you can use.
Okay.
So it has to be one that's compatible with a medium shield.
Okay. So I lost my Pharaoh 4. Sad days are sad.
Sad days aren't.
But I have a Rattler. I have a Rattler 3. So I will take that. And I will take my ammo.
There you go, fresh from my mirror.
I'll take heavy ammo. I didn't even get to shoot at those guys.
Sure, take it.
Oh god, oh my. Oh. That's fine.
You can go in with a free loadout, so you don't lose anything.
You know, that's true. That is true. I didn't think about that. I haven't been doing that. Okay, free loadout. Let's do that.
I don't know what gun I want to take. Maybe I'll just do a free loadout.
Skill points. No. Okay.
Zach, I'm also doing a free loadout, so.
Okay. I am.
Let's go back to the cold.
I
you
am.
are
I
not?
am. No, I am not. I am Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You do you, boo boo.
Hey, boo boo.
What you got in that picnic basket?
Zach probably doesn't even get that reference.
Yes, I know what Yogi Bear is. Thank you.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
You calling me old, Carly?
You're back.
That's how I would take that.
I mean,
The amount of
you're older
stuttering
than
right
Zach.
now.
I am older than Zach.
Can confirm. I am the youngest person in the party.
I am the oldest old person.
Second oldest old person.
I think Diablo's older than you, isn't he? And Ben's older than you. Oh, and the party.
They're not,
Yeah,
I was gonna say they're
okay.
not here. But yeah, Ben and Diablo are both older than me.
The light, the greenery.
Did Kyle tell you about his
You can almost picture us
hat,
living
Carly?
topside again.
His what?
I appreciate you.
His hat.
Not too many reliable radios
No.
left.
He saw this hat on TikTok and loved it and was like, I need one of these. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then he kept telling me he needed one, so I got him one for our anniversary. And it says I like my girls a little bit older.
It's hard enough.
That's
keeping the other
amazing.
neighbors
Kyle
in
did tell me about
sentences.
that.
We can't go adding the family.
I mean, to be fair, it's like a baller ass hat to have.
And he actually wore it out in public today.
Awesome.
He wore it to go take a heater to his coworker.
Oh yeah, he told me about that. Like the store was like in like it was like 62 or 61 when he walked in the store or some shit the other day.
This morning when his guy got there, it was 55 degrees in the store.
Ugh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that like ridiculous.
Let's close the store and go home for the day kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he was off anyway, so he didn't really care. But
Yes, I know Yogi Bear, Trent.
okay. Note to Allie, stay with the group. I was always that kid on the field trip that had to go and wander to the different part of the museum.
No comment.
Listen.
Oh, I have a rattler.
I have a kettle.
Nice.
Inside.
Oh, I have a spaceport trench tower key now.
Nice.
And I have the warehouse key
Exodus
with me.
models?
Are we close to either one of those?
I haven't looked.
Nope, they're literal other side of the map.
Yeah, classic.
Exodus modules are, but I got them.
Bet you know Huckleberry Hound 2? I don't know what...
Go to the container storage.
I do not know what Huckleberry Hound is.
Huckleberry Hound.
I thought when you said Huckleberry, you were quoting Tombstone at first. I do know that. I love Tombstone.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, we need to kill
Oh.
a snitch.
I'm harvesting candleberries. We need to kill a snitch?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Allie, you said you needed a snitch, right?
Yes. Yeah, let's go. Look at the snitch parts.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get inside. My guy's collecting a lot of snow.
Well, as long as you haven't started taking damage yet.
He's rubbing his hands together.
Okay, yeah.
Yo, I kind of like this kettle though.
I like the kettle.
Oh, the kettle's great.
Shame I won't get to keep it.
If we make it out, you will.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
It was another old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. My parents' dog is named after them. Oh my gosh.
Aw.
Is that Allie?
Yes.
Explosive mine blueprint. In here.
Grazie. I hear a tick. Killing a tick.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, but I don't have my extra storage.
I know. It just stuck. Fireball.
Yay, I got that.
Oh, there's the fireball is the one that you need to search for some fire thing.
Did you just refer to your parents' dog as a dense gremlin?
I mean, some dogs be like that, bro.
That's amazing. No, unfortunately, Rose, I do not know about the Huck. Apparently. Trent's dog or this cartoon.
I have so little space.
Same.
I don't like this.
That's really the most tragic part of bringing a free.
It's like half the amount of stuff that I normally have. And they don't give you very many bullets.
Do you know you can buy medium gun parts from the lady with seeds now?
You couldn't before? Are you sure? I'm pretty sure you could.
I asked you last time we were playing if I could, and you said no, she doesn't sell them, so I didn't even look.
No, I said you can't make them.
I'm pretty sure I asked if you can buy them.
Well,
Can't confirm this one.
I also thought you were talking about light for a long time, so I don't know.
That is true. Confirmed.
Do 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 do.
Let's go to the control tower.
Fireball.
Well,
An
you
arc
should search
survey?
this. You'll find some stuff.
Arc probe.
The light is, yes. The ball's so funny.
Yo, let's go. Crazy Legs with 3 months of Prime support. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate a whole bunch. Where did the rolly ball go to?
I don't know. It likes to hide. Oh, it's right here.
Oh.
It's glitched? Woo!
How is that thing still going?
I don't know.
All right, I'm running inside.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to.
My dude's shivering his hands together, so
Oh yeah, I'm taking damage.
there's a turret in
This
here.
is not considered inside? It's not considered inside. This is considered inside. I need to do some healing and go get that hornet thing.
People across the way from us. Hello? You guys friendly? Yeah, we were just shooting the turret. We're friendly if you guys are.
Yeah, we're all good.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Farley, are you okay?
Yeah, there's just a turret and rolly balls and
Probably be careful if
have
you
no
come in through the
more.
middle.
I know I don't have any. Oh fuck! Fuck a bastion. Fuck. I have no more healing. And 3 bullets.
What kind of bullets do you need?
Medium.
I have some I could give you.
Well, let's just get out of here. Like, you guys are both
I'm
on
gonna
freeze. You guys are probably both full of shit. Like, there's a
Go to that location.
south
Head over
elevators
the
on the
south
other side.
elevator.
I mean,
Yes?
I don't know.
Okay.
South elevator. What's the south elevator? Oh, right there. Okay. Oh shit! This bastard's gonna see me.
Yeah, we're friendly. We're friendly.
Farley's getting her ass ate.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
unfortunately not a lot we can do.
Go heal Farley.
No, the bastion's in here. He followed me into this building. There's a turret in here.
Of course,
I'm
I don't
hoping-
have. Of course, I don't have my wolf pack with me.
He's leaving.
Looking at us, Allie. Be careful.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting out of here. Is someone shooting us?
Yeah, I'm shooting at the turret to get you out of there.
Well, I'm out of there now.
Okay,
But I thought I saw Allie get hit by something. I wasn't sure if it was the bastion or not.
probably just the bastion.
I'm gonna call this thing in because I'm not gonna be able to be out here very long.
Yep.
Yeah, someone is sniping us.
Oh,
They must be in the control tower or something.
that's not very cash money of them.
No. Oh shit. I just bring all the trouble.
isn't this thing opening?
Taking its sweet
takes
time,
a second.
apparently.
Everybody in?
Yep, called in.
Yep. Yay.
Excellent raid, gentlemen.
Oh!
Alrighty then. At least we got out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can be down and still get out.
Yeah, no, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Crazy Legs.
You would have to be like knocked out, thirsted to not keep your ship.
Okay.
Well, brother, I appreciate you coming by, man. I appreciate you coming by and hanging out. I know you guys. You guys don't normally stream on Tuesdays. You guys normally stream on Wednesdays, I think. That was a close one. Hey, Chris, we did not play Talishar. We talked about Guardian for 2.5 hours, and now we're playing Arc Raiders. That was probably actually where we're going to end the stream. Let's go ahead and do this really quick here. Guys, thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out tonight. I know there was a lot of viewers while we were talking about Guardian stuff. I always enjoy being around other Guardian stands and stuff like that. No stream tomorrow. It's Wednesday. We got some cool videos coming out from the Talishar tournament that I put together for you guys. So we got some gameplay tomorrow for Silver Age. Make sure you check that out. And then, excuse me, on Thursday, we'll be playing something. I'm sure I have no idea what we might be playing a little bit of Guardian. So we'll be playing some games on Thursday. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Take it easy, guys.
Kyle requested 5 subs of water.